uh, see if I remember how to do this. Testing, is anyone in the house? What's shaking, Cameron? How are you doing? Okay, got to keep that volume considerate. I admit, it's been a little while since I've done this, so you'll have to excuse me. It'll take me a little while to get readjusted to this. It's Saturday night in Scotland. How's it going out there? Is Scotland on lockdown too? Ooh, nice. Okay, I think I need to increase my pressure sensitivity just a little bit. I might put that printer back on the top. I should have never moved it to begin with. Let's see. Alright, I think I gotta go one more level. There we go. That'll work. I think we've had better days, but I don't think any of our lockdowns have been as bad as they were in March. Yeah! I remember March being very strict. You think they might do it again for you? We'll see. Yeah, exactly. You can never be too sure. I mean, it would be really great if it did though, cause it would help as far as like being able to get back out again. Admittedly, I do miss going out. Although I don't, ironically, I didn't really go that much to begin with. I'm just being honest about it. But with my brother getting ready to return back onto the east side of the U.S., and I haven't seen him in almost a year, I want to be able to travel a lot more to where he'll be. But with the weather conditions, I don't. I mean, not the weather. I'm sorry, but with the, like the pandemic going on, I don't think it's the best idea to be traveling right now. Let's see. I gotta. I just realized. I think this is like my first time streaming all year so far. Although we're only 16 days in. It doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like I've done it. Does that make sense? I swear, every time I hear this song, I think of Green Grass Gradiation from Mega Man ZX. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, if nothing else, I'm happy I made it to 2021. Okay, I just wanted to check. Is this drawing too light on the screen? Are you able to see what I'm doing? And I know it's not full on pressure, but I'm doing that intentionally, and you'll see why in a little while. I'm actually pretty happy to say I've learned a lot as far as like drawing wise. I've learned a whole lot since last time. So this one's like gonna be right at the eyeball. Yeah, actually the eyeball will start the mark of the left eye starts the mark of the ear, and so does the right one. So so to keep you informed of what I'm doing right now, I've been learning how to draw the Pink Panther for the last couple of weeks, almost the last 2 months. And I mean, not to the level of like just learning how to draw him. I've been learning how to improve on my construction. That's what you're seeing now. The eye needs to be a bit bigger. Now, what I would love to do is I would love to save this, but as we all know, how much of a pain in the ass YouTube and Twitch can be, both of them. There's no way all this is going to be saved unless it would be taken down by a VOD or something. So, hey, you want to listen to music while you work? Nope. But I guess as far as I'm concerned, the biggest thing I can do is just keep working. I mean, I'm not really too concerned about the views, anyways. Although I would like to preserve what I work on, but again, YouTube. And while PicArto is not nearly as strict as they're not as strict as what YouTube and Twitch has. You can't save VODs on there unless if you subscribe to their monthly plan. Let alone it's not the biggest it's not the biggest traffic spot either. I'd like to test. Are you able to hear the music? Like, is the music at a pretty good volume? Obviously, with different YouTube videos, it'll be different volumes. But for right now, is it okay? So see, the eye would come down like this. At least with the songs that are playing now, it'll give me a good test. Yeah, so the three lines are connected here. And this one goes straight up to ear, but it doesn't touch the eye because of the perspective. So it needs to go just a little bit bigger. yes, I did win, didn't I? Finally, everyone will know it. I'm the boss, so you know it, right? Oh, yes, I am. In the commentary, Enter Mobius. The fun is now over, and I spent all my money. Nah, that shouldn't be. It's too small, anyways. No one can see it. Oh well, let's get back to it. So, Kevin, are you still with us, or am I by myself again? I think I'll bring the mic a little bit closer. I might have Taco Bell today too. Yeah, it's got a little bit more of a curve here. Okay. Okay, nice. Boo. Let's see. Flip this canvas. Taco Bell, the restaurant with all the memes about poop surrounding it. Actually, I'm actually surprised Taco Bell has that meme. I figured that one would go to McDonald's. Cause no joke, the legit last time I've had McDonald's, as fast as I ate the lunch, as fast as it went through. That made no sense how fast that went through my system like that. It scared me. Like it really, really scared me. I mean, yeah, I get it. At the end of the day, that's where it goes, but not that fast. Like the The speed is what scared me. Speaking of speed, we'll listen to Sonic music right now. Irony. Although, to be fair, I think that's the American McDonald's. Because I've never had that problem with like Korean McDonald's. Yes, there is a difference between the two. Hey, what's up? What's up, Gemma? By the way, if I haven't said it already, Happy New Year's to everybody. I know I'm about 16 days late, but better late than never, I suppose, right? This needs more of a curve. Yeah, and you're absolutely right about that, Gemma. Yeah, I've been in the midst of a lot of good things. A lot of good things has happened since I want to say, when was it? Like November. I want to say about November of last year. No dollar in the pocket. So, let's start from the top. I got my own place now. I have a full-time job working at the VA for veterans. Um, nope. Actually, this is the Pink Panther. That's actually a really big thing I wanted to share. If you're not aware, I'm actually being mentored now by Tom Sutton, who worked on Hotel Transylvania 3. He worked on Hotel Transylvania 3, and he currently works on Paw Patrol. And I'm also being trained by Wade Goyens, who works for Stupid Buddy Studios as a storyboard artist. For the last couple of months that I've been training under the both of them, I've learned a lot. Like, I now know how to draw in perspective, at least on the basic level. I searched for him. Wade, I ended up finding on a storyboard Facebook group. And Tom, I've been friends with him for about 5 years now. But he opened up his mentorship sometime last year, and I asked him if he could train me, and he said yes. Since he knew my story from the get go, and he saw that I was like really trying to put in the work, which I constantly am. Yeah, I gotta make a slight correction on that. If you're actually curious on how Tom Sutton works, he streams on Twitch. I think it's Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Sometimes Saturdays. I'm not sure of his full schedule. But his I'll post his account on boop doop doop doop. Tom Sutton. I believe that's his Twitch page. Just tell him that Terrell sent you. Or Anthony, yeah. Like, if you're just curious on like how he works. But ever since, is this for animation or an illustration? Animation actually, and I'm hoping somehow this can work for illustration level too. But I'm not focused on illustration. At this specific moment, I've just been trying. I've been working off of one model sheet, the June 1968 model sheet of the Pink Panther, and I've been trying to draw him out, like getting the proportions and shapes and stuff right. I would love to be able to do some kind of animation this year, even if it's a small little GIF loop. But for right now, I'm just focused on my general improvements. I know you can't see it on this layer here, so let me nix this one out and push this layer back up. This layer right here was my construction layer. If you notice all the lines, that's basically everywhere, like right around here, this line here, this here, here, and here. Right now, I've really been trying to get to the phase of where I don't have to like draw over the model sheet to draw the characters in any poses that I want. And honestly, I'm really happy with the progress I've made so far. Ironically, at the same time, I haven't been playing as many video games as I used to. I play a few arcadic type games where I can play something really quickly and then go back to practicing. The only full fledged game that I've invested my time into previously last year and a little bit of this year was the Ori games, Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of Wisps. Two amazing games, mind you. His eyebrows a little bit thinner. But the general reason why I'll play a game now, it's just for overall study. Like what can I use from that I can make like that I can use in my animations. I don't play games. They are very pretty. Yeah, the Ori games are beautiful. I've never seen a game as gorgeous as that, and it plays good too. I've always been a firm believer of graphics don't really matter in the game as long as they play really good. So when I first found out about Ori because of the Rivals of Aether video game, which was like a sort of Smash Brothers type game. I'm not gonna say clone. That's a bit of an insult, but let's see, where does his eyebrow? I mean, where does his thing start? It starts at the eye. So yeah, starts about right there. But yeah, I found out about the Ori games because of Rivals of Aether, and when it comes, and most of the time, I love playing games that I find out from crossovers, and then going into the original source games. Xenoblade Chronicles is another example of that. And 9 times out of 10, I would really get interested in the games, and I would eventually love them. I know it's a bold statement on what I'm about to say, but I love Xenoblade Chronicles. It's my favorite RPG game. It is a absolutely it's up there in like my top 5 RPG games I've ever played. This eye, not the eye, the nose needs to be a little bit wider. Needs to be a little more thick. I think it's a pretty acceptable level. But yes, I know. Leading back to the very beginning, I know I've been gone for a good while. But the whole time I've been gone, I've really been busting my ass and trying to improve as best as I can. I really have. A little bit more humble. Oh, just looked it up. That's the sword from Smash Brothers. Wait, what sword? Oh, oh, you're talking about the Monado, right? Are you talking about Xenoblade? You know the one meme they got? I'm really feeling it. And by the way, when you say sword, you gotta be a little more specific than that. You know how many sword characters are in Smash Brothers right now? They'll, the circle sword. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, that's the Monado, and that came from Xenoblade Chronicles. If you have a Switch, well, no, that's right. You said you don't play games. Never mind. Well, even if you don't play the game, just watch the cutscenes. No, no, you got it right. The circle sword is the Monado. That is correct. But yeah, I would have never played Xenoblade Chronicles had it not been for Smash Brothers for Wii U. Let's see. I think that's right. Actually, slightly off because this part here is a little bit more. This one has a bit more of a curve to it. Although that's more in perspective, so I gotta keep my perspective consistency. I think the ear might. No, that's actually right. That's right. The right ear is very close to the right eye. Well, left eye. Alright, so let's flip this and have a look. And this looks wrong. This needs to be more curved. Remember the last time I streamed? I didn't even use like the flip technique. You got the right ones up. I don't know. Something seems off about this. Okay. Yeah, it's close. But I need to get... Just found the flip technique myself a few months ago. Yeah. It's super helpful. Yeah, it really, really is. Yeah, I think this... Uh-huh, I do. Hey, I'll be the first to admit it. I like Krita. Now, I haven't played with the animation portion of this program yet. I would like to, but I'm not. It's not like it's not a like important thing for me at the moment. Oh, okay. I see why. I see what I was doing wrong now. Oh, nice. Um, I learned how to use the program mostly from Jesse J. Jones, a good buddy of mine, also a professional animator too. Jesus Christ, I know a lot of big name animators, don't I? But Jesse J. Jones, he has an excellent tutorial on YouTube. How to use Krita from a regular drawing point and an animation point as well. I'm heading off to do the dishwasher. I'll be back in a few minutes. All right, see you soon. Man, I miss doing this. It's great being able to talk to people like this. Needs a little bit more of a downward slant. Ba-ba-da-ba. That's right. This changed the whole dynamic of the drawing. bit of a reverse curve on this too. Welcome back. Yeah, I've got to keep a I've got to keep that perspective in check. So let me ask you a question, Gemma. Gemma, excuse me, Gemma. Cartoon wise, have you seen any of the new shows? I should say first, so that's so good. I've just rewatched BoJack Horseman. I heard that show was really, really good. Trying to get into Shira. So, let me make sure I understand this correctly. Shira, the Netflix variation, is that a remake or its own individual thing compared to He Man? Or wait, was the original Shira? I don't know. I'm so confused. It's amazing how many a lot of like weird stuff on this model sheet. I've heard a lot of general good things about it, so yeah, I think I'll probably give it a watch down the list as well. I've got to ask, have you seen Hilda season 2? Actually, have you seen Hilda at all? Lesbians. That's funny. There was there was an original Shira. I think it was a sister show to He Man. Okay, I think New Shira is a reboot. All right. I'll admit it. Sometimes I get a little confused on what people mean by like reboot or like a like brand new production. So I try to make sure I get my definitions as correctly as possible. I've seen the first season of Hilda. Haven't checked out the second season. I will say season 2 is fantastic. I loved season 2. It it improved a lot from what season 1 offered. Okay, I think I get it now. I think there's a bit more of a curve on this. And then this one has a sharp curve in this section here. Yeah. I liked most of the episodes. Found the ending unsatisfying. If you say season 2 is good, then I'll check it out. Now, obviously, I should note this, but I try to do this for everybody. Your taste may vary. You know what I mean? It's like I can recommend things all day, but it won't mean nothing if the taste, like, you know, if the styles and what the expectations are a lot, you know, are different. I think I should move this down just a little bit. Yeah, that's good right there. It gives me a little bit more space for this part here. Let's see. Well, rip this. I'll skip this one. I swear I hate YouTube's pickiness. It's cool. You said that the new season was better than the first. I'm in a cartoon mood, so I will. All right. Thank you for believing in me. You know, as far as like following my, you know, like advice and stuff. Admittedly, I'm really self-conscious when I give people recommendations on stuff. Cause I think all the time is like someone could be like, "Ew, you thought this show was good?" And like even with general music too. Wait, I just realized he said Dolphine, Dolphin. He says dolphin in three different terms. Yes, 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 yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Full Metal is one of my favorite animes of all time. It still holds up to me. I love it. I'll start from like a random spot and just watch the whole thing. I did that before. Like I clicked a random episode, it just kept going. I just never stopped. Wait, I played this song about an hour ago. I do not want to hear it again. But yes, I cannot recommend Brotherhood enough. I can't. Um, let's see, what else was there? Made in Abyss, the third movie came out, which actually was the air quotes here, which was the air quotes season 2 of the series. Promise Neverland season 2 just came out. Like it's currently running, and the second half of ReZero season 2 is airing at the moment as well. I watched the first version years ago, and the first few episodes are the same. Now that I've forgotten the first version, I think watching the second won't be a drag at the start. No. I think as far as the reference of the old, like the original series, I think like the first 3-4 episodes covers it. Then it shifts off into the a real story, like the real story from the manga. But even then, there is some stuff that's actually worth a merit for like a rewatch. But yes, I absolutely give Full Metal the recommendation. Specifically like the Brotherhood version. Now there are some things from the original that I think did better than the Brotherhood version, but there's a lot more from Brotherhood that did better than the original version. So take that as you will. The only anime I'm keeping track of is My Hero Academia, and even then, it's the dub version. I am not hip with the trends. Truthfully, I don't really blame you, because honestly, like, this is gonna be a hot take here. Like, there's not a lot of shows on there that's worth my interest to watch. But it's the fight that keeps us ready, and even I can feel the path. Oh, absolutely. Yo, Mr. Mac. Absolutely. Hey, Mac, the call's open, dude. Into Chimera memes here. If I'm gonna be honest, Cameron, a lot of people are like heartbroken by the whole thing with Full Metal, and rightfully so, because I was too. But I think Made in Abyss tops that by 10, 15 knots. Forever he will be my hero. And now I'm not just a dreamer. Call's open, by the way, Mac. You join whenever you can, whenever you're ready. That's one of the few things I know about FMA. Yeah, that's fair. I'm not too much of a fan of. I'm not too much of an anime person. The only anime films I've seen: Spirited Away, The Secret World of Variety, and Wolf Children. I've seen Spirited Away and Wolf Children, both good movies. I've never seen Secret World of Variety though. Oh, Mac, are you here? Hold on, I cannot hear you. I got you at 100%. I can't hear you, buddy. Also, I was playing music, but for the sake. Oh, wait. I I think I know why you can't hear me. Um, yeah, that's exactly why. That's my fault, not yours. Okay, microphone there and speaker. There we go. Sorry, that was my fault.
I know.
Well, gee, you didn't have to emphasize it. Mac?
Yeah, can you hear me now at all?
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Yeah,
Sorry, just
it's my fault, not yours.
no, it's actually my fault. It was I don't know what was happening. I think it was like fucking my microphone was just like not working. I think if you can hear me now, then it means it's working, so that's good.
Yeah. On settings, my mic and headphones wasn't set for some reason.
Ah,
So that's why I said it was my fault. Variety is
okay.
about a tiny girl and a family living in a secret house of normal sized people. Huh. Okay. I'll have to watch that.
I've um I've seen Death Note and Beastars. Haven't seen Brand New Animal though. Um, I'm a big fan of. Believe it or not, it sounds very vanilla, but I think still one of my favorite anime shows probably still is like Dragon Ball Z. I know that's really fucking vanilla and everything, but
Nah, that's fine. I mean,
it's good.
I mean, everybody is allowed to like things. I
Mm,
I I could care less what society deems is cool
mm.
or not.
Well, I think, believe it or not, is the original series is from like the 19 like late 1980s to I think the first like the original run of Dragon Ball Z was from like late 80s to 1996, and it still hold like right because I've been rewatching it because I haven't seen it properly in like years. I'm talking about over a decade, and I've been rewatching it a lot, and I'm amazed about how well it holds up. Like it really holds up pretty well. Um, uh, but I, I mean, I've seen Death, and I think my anime films, I still absolutely love Akira. It's great, but I quite like that sort of. I think I like Akira because of how much of a mindfuck that movie is and how genuinely disturbing it is, and I just love that.
Dude, disturbing stuff is amazing.
Mm,
You kidding me? Those usually are the best animes they got to offer.
exactly. I
Uh,
think, and I think the case of like Akira, it had so much cultural impact. The fact that fucking South Park referenced Akira in one of their older episodes.
yeah, I mean that says a lot.
Yeah, the because in the Trapper Keeper episode, because you within Akira, you've seen Akira, haven't you? Or
Yeah, I saw it years ago. I don't remember much about it, unfortunately.
okay, from what you remember, do you remember the scene where with the big mass at the end of it, as in like that massive mutant thing at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah, they referenced that in like a season 4 episode of South Park.
Wow.
So Cartman becomes one of that, and
That's a lot of love.
yeah, and that scene is legit fucking disturbing though, um, because it just is. There's something just very like messed up about seeing a character just mutate in that kind of way, and it being like a mix between it just becomes a big mass of just like human and like robot and like it's just organic material and like and sort of like metal. It just looks disgusting. I love that.
Like like
I'm quite a big fan of body horror. So
dude, have you not seen Made in Abyss?
oh yeah, no, I have seen Made in
Okay,
Abyss.
good. I'm about to say, what are you doing? Like, you just said, well, you didn't say that, I know, but had you said you've never seen it, I would have went off on a massive tirade.
Mm.
Like, dude, you literally contradicted yourself because as of right this second, Made in Abyss, I think, is the most popular body horror anime they got out there.
Oh no,
Bold, bold fucking statement, but that's what I truly think.
I just yeah, no, there's some. Oh no, absolutely, there's loads of body horror in that. There's like fucking hell. I'm just remembering it. I'm just like thinking of some of the scenes and everything.
How you doing, Z? I'm gonna
In
call you
terms
Z. Go ahead.
in terms of anime, in terms of like speaking of anime though, um, I'm gonna be interested how because there's only been one season because we're on topic of Beastars because Cameron mentioned it on like I'm going to be interested how they're going to be able because in terms of genuine disturbing and even body horror to a certain degree how they're going to adapt the later like manga issues because they're
Ooh, man.
horrific,
Yeah.
particularly when you get to Melon's arc. I'm going to be like, are you going to go full out because he does some fucked up shit and his backstory is really fucked up as well.
Yeah. That is like, oh my god, stories like that. I shouldn't I shouldn't be getting excited over this stuff, but I can't help it.
It's like it's amazing because what I always love about Melon, like particularly in Melon's arc, is how they managed to make in one of the earlier issues they managed to make something that Melon did, thinking, "Oh my god, he's a fucking monster for doing that." But then later on, when you find out what the person he killed did to him, it's like, "Oh, I don't feel as bad. I don't feel as bad anymore."
Yeah. That's right.
Um,
I remember you told me that to an extent on what it was.
yeah.
I'm curious. Are they even gonna cover that part, or are they gonna skip it?
Well, I think you kind of have to because it's quite a big part of his character. Because it's the reason why one of the things that Melon does, he hates like he doesn't like leopards. Like he has a strong hatred for them,
Right.
and you can't really like, and that's quite a big part of his character. And you can't really like if you want to keep that part in, you can't have that without mentioning like what mention the fact that his mother like used to abuse him.
Right.
That's and to be honest, it's not. It's. I think to be honest with you can't really. Because I've read like the mangas of Beastars and everything. It's like you can't. I don't think with the anime adaptation, you would a lot of the stuff you couldn't really take out. You could maybe tone it down a bit, but I'd feel if you did that, you would really like worsen the impact of it. Um, but like I always find it interesting with anime though, like I think we're saying that on Matt's Discord about how anime tends to be a lot more adult themed anyway. Even stuff that's like not specifically targeted towards adults,
Yeah.
it tends to be more themed. Um, and because for example, even a case of something like Dragon Ball Z, because that's not considered like an anime for adults. It's considered it's like I wouldn't say it's for children, but it's more. I wouldn't say it's for adults either. And in that there's some pretty. I mean, that show has swearing in it. There's blood.
Mm-hmm.
There's really graphic scenes and disturbing scenes, like the very long scene with like Frieza just torturing Vegeta for like 5 minutes basically
Yeah.
of him just beating the absolute shit out of him, and it's done in a way that it's like this is really disturbing because it just keeps on going and going. Or how
There's the infamous scene of like Krillin being blown the hell up.
yeah. Oh, do you remember the scene? Do you remember the scene with Imperfect Cell and he with it's when Imperfect Cell encounters Piccolo, and in that part, Imperfect Cell has that businessman who's like basically begging Piccolo, like offering money to say, please help me this from this monster,"
Right.
and then you see because obviously with well, but both Imperfect and Perfect Cell, he absorbs everything, and you see that graphic scene when like he just like slowly like drains that like guy he injects him with that his tail, and you just see him just like shrivel up and everything, and it's
Yeah.
like
It's
oh
terrifying.
that scene disturbed me so much as like I saw that shit as a kid and it legit disturbed me massively.
Rightfully so.
Like even as an adult now, I think that is a messed up scene.
It is.
Um, and again, on the topic of like mangas and anime with body horror, have any of you ever like read Devilman at all? Because there's a lot
Devilman.
of body horror in that.
Isn't that
When it,
is that Devilman Crybaby?
no,
Or did I get my shows mixed up just a moment ago?
no, it's just called Devilman. Like
Oh,
it's just called um because there's a particular like monster in that that's really messed up, and it's fucked. It's a great. I do like the. I think there's an anime of it. I've only read the manga though. And that was actually one of the first mangas I believe I read because it's a horror based manga. So, but yeah, that I thought that was a legit disturbing one too.
I really need to. I wonder if there's actually more. Probably nothing recent,
Mm,
but like maybe like stuff in stuff back in the day.
mm,
And what makes it tricky as far as like finding the right anime that tells like dark stories properly
mm,
is always trying to like not push that barrier of dark fucked up and
mm.
then like dark edgy.
Yeah, I
Like
think I think with edgy, um, what I tend to find is when you go down the it's too edgy is when you have over reliance on like gore. It's the over reliance on gore is when I've noticed that's edgy. It's when you tend to have horror, or if you do gore, you do it in a way that hasn't like been done before, if you get me.
yeah,
So, but I tend to find that a lot of horror, my favorite type of horror is like something that has a lot of atmosphere to it, and it's more uncanny and unsettling. Is what I find more disturbing to me.
agreed.
Mm. Um, and like, and also things like, and also good sound design as well.
Yeah, that'll definitely.
Mm.
Oh God, I just rethought about that scene with Made in Abyss. Like I think it was like episode 9 or 10, where like Nanashi got introduced. Like prior to that part, where I don't want to spoil it because I gave the
Mm.
recommendation to people in the chat. If y'all have not seen it, go watch Made in Abyss. But if you're very squirmish, I don't recommend it to you either. Just putting that out there.
Mm.
I want to talk about it so badly, but I don't want to spoil it either because that was like that was one of the big scenes in that anime. Like that really emphasized how dark and twisted that show actually was.
I
But yeah, dark storytelling is amazing, and that's one of the biggest things I love about Japanese anime.
Mm.
Now, I obviously it's not even a debate that anime has nothing on traditional animation. As far as like as far as like we're concerned, as far as like the U.S. and stuff is concerned.
Mm.
But I think their storytelling is on a whole nother level.
Oh, oh, it absolutely is, no doubt. And coming from someone who I used to it took me quite a few years to get into anime. I don't know why. I just for some reason I used to just not like I didn't like the art style of it for a while, and I don't know, but I like over the years I just like grown into like really liking it. Um, I mean, I'm not like one of those weeaboos who like says, "Oh no, like anime is perfect and anything's not like any like Western stuff is like bad," because that's pretty well, that's not true. And also because
Yeah.
there's also a lot of shit anime. Like there is some fucking garbage out there.
Oh God! Don't even get me started.
I tell you one anime. Well, even though it's like it's a more of a it's a children's one, but it's more known because people used to assume that I think I'm more referring to like Japanese animation, not necessarily anime in particular. But
Okay.
one of this particular like animation or is kind of more known because people for many years and even nowadays some people still assume that the Lion King ripped it off,
Oh, you're talking
even
about
though
Kima, right?
yeah,
You're
because
talking about Kima.
Kimba is like
Kimba, excuse me.
um because a lot of Kimba is like from the 1960s and 70s, and I'm gonna be honest, many people have not watched it because if you had, it's kind of not that good. And also, it is fucking hella racist as well. Like Jesus Christ, there is a because the whole kind of show, the whole theme of that show is about how to essentially what they call quote unquote civilize the animals, and there's a lot of like pro um there's a lot of pro colonialism like vibes from this, and there are sort of being that it's like being there are human characters in that, there's a lot of blackface. Holy
Oh
shit,
my.
there is so much of it, and it's just like uh, uh and you're thinking, people say, are you sure you kind of want to like say this cartoon is like, oh god, I just prefer Silent Japanese as a cartoon. Oh, I'm gonna be killed for saying that, but anyway, um
You'll
are
be
you
all
sure?
right.
Like, are you sure you want to say this is on level of Lion King? And also, one thing I love is the comparison. I mean, there's no joke. There is a YouTuber called he's called Your Movie Sucks, and he
Oh
did
yeah.
a no joke. I watched all of it, and it's a really good video. I was watching it when I was working from home, like back in summer last year, and it's a fucking incredible movie. Like, it's a really good video because he's probably been the only person who watched everything and said that argument that it ripped off, like Lion King ripped it off, is completely full of shit. And the examples that all of these like clickbait people like were using
Mm-hmm.
were actually from a film adaptation that came after the Lion King.
Oh.
And it was like these examples you're using, this was after the Lion King, like 3 years after it. And don't and I'm not here to defend Disney. I'm not like simping for them right now or anything, because I know Disney is like really shit in terms of like their legal team and everything.
Oh yeah.
And I do like I mean I do like the original Lion King. I refuse to actually no, pardon me. I watched like 20 minutes of that live action one, and I was just like, fuck this. This is just awful. Like no one. It's like none of you people here understood the reason why we like the original. And my god, to you artists, please learn color theory because none of you get understand it.
Yeah.
Like no joke, everything. You know how vibrant and rich in color the original like is, like, and it's designed and it makes sense because it's set in fucking Kenya, and also because they use color to emphasize the emotions of scenes because that's what you do in movies and,
Right.
and animation. Well, in this idea, they thought, oh, we got to do everything realistic, so for some reason everything looks really dull, like brown and beige and washed out. It no joke looks like it takes place in the fucking Fallout universe in its colors. It looks just horrible. It's like, why none of the characters have like any emotions on their faces, so it looks very uncanny because um like real life animals can display some form of emotion in their faces.
Yeah.
Like particularly things like lions and cat like felines and like hyenas, they are capable of doing that. But in this movie they don't do that. And not
There's
only
no emotion at all.
no, well, no, there's not any, and it just looks shit. It looks awful. And I mean, you could have like done. I mean, if you wanted to do a quote unquote live action version, you could have like you could have done like things differently, and you could have not done like a shot by shot scene remake, and that's what they did.
Oh, that's
Um,
terrible.
and also one of the most heinous things they found about it was I mean, every character, like every line delivery is nowhere near as like good. There's nowhere near like as emotion as scenes. They also like really like neutered so many of the characters. Like Scar is not like intimidating or threatening in any way, and none of the hyena villains are like like the original ones, like
Ed
fucking
and
Shenzi, Bonsai, and Ed. They're not really a thing anymore. It's like, are you for fucking real?
are you kidding me? They're like the three most memorable side characters in that movie.
Yeah, I like
I
that
love
was
them. They're stupid
mm,
and
they are.
ugly.
I used to be scared of like the hyenas when I was younger as well because of their faces and everything. And it's the colors. Like that scene was all colorful. It was all colorful. Like it was eerie and like sort of like greens and everything. And it made sense because they were supposed to be evil. But you don't get any of that in this movie in the live action version of it. And it's
That
just
sucks.
fucking shit. And I just it's not good. I was like, what the fuck am I watching? I didn't finish it because I was like, I'm not watching this. This is just awful. It's like made by people who didn't get what made the original good in any way, and I would just rather watch the original if I wanted to watch Lion King. So,
Right.
um,
It was probably just people just. Well, that's what it's been for a while now. Just trying
it
to
was
do like a giant cash grab.
it was it was three things. It was a cash grab, it was renewing the license, and also it was nostalgia bait, saying, "Hey, do you remember the Lion King? Do you remember that movie from like 1994? Well, it's back, but it's not the one. It's like not the same movie. So if you had nostalgia for it, why not just watch the original? But never mind." Like, if you want to remake something or like remaster something, you have to like know what made the originals good or
Right.
the original good. You can't just um. I mean, I'll give an example. I mean, like if you want to change anything, you still have to try and like not change it too drastically. I mean, an example, like I find video games do a much better job of it than like movies tend to.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Uh, I mean, in most cases, I do tend to still prefer the originals. Like I still prefer the original Final Fantasy VII to the remake, and I still still prefer the well. I mean, well, actually, I much prefer the the Crash Bandicoot trilogy, the original by a long shot. But with the Spyro reignited, um I think now for the PC port, I'm just like I stick with that one because I can well if I wanted to go back to having the original models and the original voices, there's a mod for that. So
Oh wow, that's kind of cool.
so I don't need to play. So if I wanted to play the originals, I could just do that, and it would run better because it runs at like fucking 60 FPS with and 1080p and all that shit. Um,
Cameron says, I got the feeling that a lot of people arguing the ripoff theory were trying to add a progressive bent to it by insinuating, air quotes here, let white people stole from non-white people once again,
no,
end quote.
no, actually, it was just Weeaboos getting. It was fucking Weeaboos getting just wanting to back because that was most of the people that were accusing the Lion King of it of ripping it off. I mean, there probably was some degree of that, but it's just like if you like actually watch any of Kimber or like do any research, you'd realize that that like argument completely falls apart, and it's not really fair anyway because if you're making a story about animals in the fucking Kenya, you're gonna be you're gonna be you're gonna have some similarity because guess what? Animals in Kenya,
Right,
if you make a story about animals in Kenya, you're gonna probably have lions and hyenas because oh wait, they're one of the dominant ones in that country. So
right. Yeah, I agree with that. That isn't a fair thing. That would be like well, it happens all the time where
Mm.
people will always put that stigma on like platformers.
Mm.
Like if it's not Mario and Sonic, oh, it's ripping off Mario and Sonic.
Oh, fucking hate that shit so badly.
While that was true in the 90s,
Mm.
absolutely, I won't defend that. But nowadays, like if that comparison's out there now, then I don't think that comparison is fair.
I think I know in the 90s, like so many, like I remember reading so many like um reviews, like if it was like 3D platformers, they say, "Oh, it's like Super Mario 64." No, it fucking isn't. Like,
No,
right, Spyro is not like Super Mario 64,
it's
and
not even close.
I'm not bashing Super Mario 64. It's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite Mario games, and I love
Everybody
it. But
loves
like,
that game.
I love like. I don't just love like I love the fucking weird like uncanny creepiness of that game because it is it's still like there's this vibe about Mario 64 that no other game has had that, and I want someone to do that because I want to play like because it's just anyway. I'm getting off beyond topic here, but like what I think the point I'm saying was trying to make was it's like yeah like Spyro like Spyro the Dragon, the first one is like the PlayStation 1 version of Superman. Shut the fuck up. If you like play both those games, they do not play anything alike. The only similarity is they're 3D platformers. Their mechanics are different, the moves are different, the fucking plot is different. It's just you know the only thing you could maybe say is yeah is the fact they're 3D platformers and you collect stuff in it. But then in 64, you only really collect like stars,
Yeah,
whereas Spyro you have to save dragons from the statues. You gotta say get all the gems. You have to get the dragon eggs. I think there's three. If you went to 100% the game, there's three collectibles to get in that. Um, in but and then in but in Spyro 2, it's gems, orbs, and yeah, it's just gems and orbs in that game. Oh, and talismans as well. And the third game is it's dragon eggs, gems, and yeah, just dragon eggs. Um, but yeah, but like I if I had that magazine, I would like show you it, but I've like lost that over the years. But I remember like reading that, and I was like, what the? I was like 6, 7 at the time. And I thought that's rubbish. That's not true. Um, I don't know. I also find it really weird with platformers how even nowadays you still get like it's a vocal minority, but you still get like really hardcore like Mario and Sonic fanboys that will just still attack each other. I'm like who really? It's like are you? They're like different games. They play differently. Why would you like the only reason they were compared in the 90s was because it was well the early 90s is because of like Mario versus Sonic during the Sega Mega Drive / Genesis versus the Super Nintendo.
right.
So I know it's Genesis over here it's Mega Drive and I just it's still
It's fine.
I think Genesis sounds better. Mega Drive is it's like fucking Sega Genesis like it's like that sounds so much cooler than just Mega Drive.
Right.
What?
Uh,
Why Europe? Why did you have to change it?
maybe
Um,
copyright. But Cameron says also didn't Kimba the
yes,
old series make
yes,
colonialism? Yeah. That
that is
word. Look good.
yes, that is like the whole like theme of Kimber is basically trying to quote unquote civilize the animals, and yeah, there is a lot of it is a huge metaphor for just like yeah, colonialism is good. It's like it's a bit it kind of doesn't help the fact that the like Kimber's like protagonist like male like fucking like human friends are like all basically white explorers as well. It's a bit like um
Mm.
there's a lot of very I'm not like reading into it. It's very apparent. It's not like it's not sort of like something you have to really sort of like you don't basically like the moment you watch it you really it's right there. right there saying, "Yeah, this is a huge metaphor for colonialism is good." It's like, oh dear. Um, but like, it's also not just like that. That's not also why Kimber is not that great. It's just awkward and like the dubbing of it is pretty shit. There's no reason to really like watch it other than if you're just out of curiosity to see and to basically see how very unlike it is the Lion King. That's the only reason I would recommend or actually check it out. Otherwise, I don't know. There's like if you want to watch, there's just other like things to watch instead. Um,
Yeah,
but
TBH, my curiosity for Kimba is not that high.
no,
It really is not.
I've only seen like I've seen like episodes of it. I haven't like watched huge amounts of it because I didn't really like it. I don't like this at all. It's just not my thing. Um,
So yeah, that'll be a hard pass on that one.
mm,
But then again, I've always ignored anime controversies
oh yeah.
as far as that comparison because half of them are really stupid. Here, I'll give you one for example. When My Hero Academia first came out,
Mm,
one of the first controversies that came on that was the female characters was a bit thinner than what they was compared to the mangas.
that's a bit. I think that yeah, that kind of is a bit of a sort of
Like that
not so much of an issue really.
that is a very stupid controversy. Actually, the real controversy should be that the females don't get enough screen time.
Mm,
I mean, if they were to complain about anything, I'm just saying.
mm.
Let's see. However, to be fair and to give justification on some controversies that was valid, when Goblin Slayer first came out, Crunchyroll didn't give a warning on the first episode.
I haven't seen Goblin Slayer, so I'm not.
Okay,
Uh,
for context, let me set you up for context. Um, the first episode of Goblin Slayer had a obviously introduced the world of Goblin Slayer, where it was like a brutal, like harsh world that did a lot of like really harsh things.
mm,
And in the very first episode, there was it wasn't fully animated, but it was heavily implied that there was a rape scene.
oh, jeez. I know.
And
Yeah.
Crunchyroll did not put any kind of like warning on that episode at all. There was no warning. You know how like some shows would be like the
Mm,
following is not recommended for so and so, viewer discretion, blah blah blah.
mm.
None of that. It just started the episode straight out.
Yeah, you probably should like, particularly if it's something like that, because I know that particularly if it's from people who have like experienced that sort of any sort of abuse,
Right.
it can be like quite sort of like can be quite triggering and everything.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
No. That's why I said that controversy was very justified.
mm, I mean, I know that I know I know when that particular well, the other thing is that there's a similar case of in the Beastars manga because when that particular issue came out, a lot of people were like, "Oh, you could have really like fucking warned me about that fucking scene," because I just wasn't because that's the thing because like they don't like there's no warning or anything. It's just right there, and it's like, oh, oh fuck.
Oh God.
I think that I tell you one thing that was really funny though is there were like people on like 4chan and everything before that like manga before that issue came out,
Oh
and
great.
there was and also on like other there was also someone like some like furry chan sites as well who were like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I want to see. I want to see Melon's like mum like in her like underwear and everything
Oh
because I
God.
think it's cute, and it's a real monkey's paw like wish because you got to see that. But it was a but but there was something else that was also in that, and yeah,
It's they got it, but not the way they wanted it.
I know. I remember seeing a thread, and how like disturbed like this is fucking 4chan. They were like, "Oh my god, this is like one of the most fucked up scenes I've like read in a while."
Wow.
And then there was some people, and then there was some people that were just making memes of it, and it's like, oh, because they do.
Now for 4chan to be offended, now that says a lot.
Yeah,
Damn,
I think
that's pretty crazy.
I think with like 4chan though, it's very. I think the majority, from when I've been on, I don't really go on 4chan to be honest. I don't really go on image boards to be, for that matter. But like when I have been on those sort of sites before, most of the stuff just tends to be just random shit and people just getting, um, it just tends to be just pointless shit, and
Mm.
that's it, and just like long threads. Although I did, however, go on like 4chan during the like recent election result because that was quite funny. That was quite funny just seeing
Well,
just
if anything else, it hasn't ended yet. You
no,
still
but
got
it was
plenty more material where that goes.
I just it was funny seeing like because like most of it was from the politically incorrect board and being that was like um very pro Trump and all that sort of stuff. It
Right.
was funny seeing like other people come from the site and from the other boards just laughing at them. They just rated it and just being like, just just like laughing, saying, "What the fuck are you gonna do now?" And people saying, "You deserve this because you were like didn't shut the fuck up for the past 4 years." So you know, it's a bit of like kind of a I don't know. Can I just actually say another thing on the
Sure.
topic of like years and uh I'm gonna say something really interesting is and also it makes and also because what Cameron because he pointed out he mentioned cringe in the chat is can I just say um you go back to 2016 and how everyone back then was like oh Minecraft Minecraft Undertale Five Nights at Freddy's and all this stuff. Oh, that's such cringe, and oh, how do you like that? And then you go back 5 years now later, and everyone's like, oh, I love, I love Undertale. Sans. I want Sans in Smash. I want a Freddy Fazbear me costume in Smash now, and all this like, and I love Minecraft, and it's like, it's really weird seeing how all this stuff that people used to make fun of, and now everyone's like unironically just loving it all game. It's very and even cases they will like say how awesome like Toby Fox and Scott Cawthon are because well they have like made actual successes of themselves.
Yeah.
Like I I I, I don't know. Have you heard? I mean, because the kind of the go-to like internet like punching like bag in terms of game developer is. Have you heard of a guy called Yandere Dev?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
And how like everyone just like says, imagine being like Toby Fox and like Scott Cawthon and Toby Fox having his like soundtrack be like live performed by like an actual professional Japanese orchestra and having his character be in Smash in some way. And Scott Cawthon has all the games. He has got two books. He's got a fucking likely a movie coming out. You see those two, and then you look at like Yandere Dev,
Like, dude
and it's
has
like
nothing.
he's like I don't know. Like I've never seen like a game developer just constantly shoot themselves in the foot. Like every time I hear from him, in some I don't even like massively follow like him at all. Like the news about him. I just every now and again I will hear something, and it's always like he's done something fucking stupid again.
I mean, to be fair, there actually is a fighting game community equivalent of that. The creator of Skullgirls. Like,
Oh,
dude got let go. He's not even with the company anymore.
what the fuck did he do then?
Well, where shall we start?
Oh, okay.
Um,
Is it one of those then?
it's a lot. One of them. Are you? I mean, obviously you're familiar with the whole Trayvon Martin and um, like the Black Lives Matter stuff and
Oh,
George
yeah, yeah,
Floyd.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
After that, in the midst of his stream, he had the nerve to put a joke of I guess you can say I can't breathe.
Oh no, he didn't.
I swear he did.
Oh Jesus Christ!
He really shot himself in the foot on that one.
And I assume it just gets worse from here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely, it gets worse. Now I don't know everything. I didn't really invest in all of it. I just happened to come across it, but he's done a lot of like horrible things to the point where they actually had to let him go. And I remember when Skullgirls first came out. Like the biggest thing I've always said about that game was it didn't seem that interesting to me, and it just felt like fan service bait.
Yeah,
So it didn't
I.
really have much going for it in my eyes to begin with from the start.
Mm,
And then like knowing that the creator himself was,
kind of a scumbag,
yeah,
basically.
I mean basically sold it,
Oh,
which is ironic because it also goes against my theory. You know how
mm,
I always say like people who do not safe for work stuff or fan
mm,
service stuff typically are pretty cool to hang around with.
yep.
Let me stress this word again. Typically,
Mm.
there are bad apples. I'm not saying that all of them are.
Yeah, I know some. I know of some. I mean, I know of some just in the fucking furry fandom, for example.
Yeah,
But anyway, uh, anyway, yeah, I get what you're trying to like say though. Because yeah, the majority I've noticed as well that draw that like make weird shit or like draw porn and everything tend to be like the more tend to be the nicer types, and they tend to be the ones that ironic like when people say oh they're a bunch of like oh they're weird because they draw porn and everything, they tend to be like the more like normal ones. They tend to be more down to earth. It's usually the one like it's usually the fucking what type like the people who get caught um like doing like messed up like sexual like sex offender like related shit tend to be
yeah.
um like how many like wasn't it I know because there have been like Minecraft YouTubers who've been caught or there's like gaming YouTubers that have like well, actually YouTubers in general
Oh,
I don't
tons
even
of them. It's still going.
yeah and there's like oh god there was just um
No joke. Two of the biggest hits that happened last year was Mr. Wizard, who was like one of the founding fathers of the Evolution Online, the
mm,
Evolution fighting game tournament.
mm.
And there was also who else was it? Zero, who was the top Smash Brothers Ultimate player.
Is he like as he's basically just like deleted everything now. He's like
Yeah,
not on.
yeah, they're gone. Both of them gone. Both
I just
for like being like sexual predators.
it's just I know I don't know what it is with like the Smash community because it's like I've never known a gaming community that is that toxic, whether it's like the amount of like predators or just being toxic like regarding like if a character gets deconfirmed or like a character like gets revealed how like just insanely like they get really toxic over it and it's like no other like fighting game has that. I mean an example is like with Mortal Kombat 11 they like added they added Joker, they put fucking they put the Terminator, they put Rambo in recently and
Yeah.
all this stuff. Everyone's like, "Oh, this is awesome, yeah!" And if that was fucking Smash Bros, it's like, oh, how dare you? Like, how dare my character got decon? How dare my character didn't get it in the game? Or fuck, or like or kind of like, haha, my character got in the game and yours didn't. It's like it's like a weird pissing contest, and it's just odd. I don't get it.
It is a little strange. I will
And
admit that.
like, it's so sad because Sakurai is like such a nice person, and I feel so sorry for him because he's like such a lovely guy, and yet he has no fault of his own harbored just such an well. I know not all Smash people are like that because I'm not saying it, and the majority of voice Smash people are like fine, but like they're community, but having like a community that is just so toxic is just really sad.
It really is.
I mean, granted, if a character I like gets like doesn't get in the game and gets ski confirmed, I'm like, oh, okay, that's. I mean, disappointed, but I'm like, okay, I'll just move on now. Or I
Yeah.
would just like kind of make a joke about it. Or this like I know or like I did like for example, I did find it funny seeing like the Sephiroth meme with the sword and just having the outline, having like the shadow of like Sora and Gino just going through it.
That is pretty funny.
I think apparently from what I like, because here's the thing is there was like someone like about 2 years ago like has got like predicted like so much of this shit, and what and it was like some Japanese like I think it's like a Japanese like 4chans basically, but they said that yeah, but from what it was saying that they chose Sephiroth because with Sora apparently they didn't want to add him because for the fact if they added him they would have to basically add all the Disney stuff, and that would have been such a legal ball ache doing that.
Yeah,
um
you know what? That's true. And uh, but before we get back to the topic that Cameron just said, to
mm,
end this conversation here,
yeah.
Disney needs to stay the fuck away from games.
Yeah,
I do not want Disney in my fucking video games. I don't. Because look what happened. Everybody knows the Marvel vs. Capcom series, right?
mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Look what happened to Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Oh fuck, don't remind me of that.
A lot of fan favorite characters got ignored because of Disney. That was the sole reason.
I still want I still kind of I'm trying to think which one. Yeah, because did yeah. I'm trying. I'm gonna look at the. I'm trying to remember what the Marvel versus Capcom Infinite roster was now.
There was no X-Men in that game. Not one.
Oh yeah, no, they
Wolverine
weren't.
wasn't even there. And Wolverine was in every Marvel game from the start. Except for Infinite. That's the only one he's not in.
That's a man. Even like the Capcom choices are like it's strange to just look at these. Like I will say, actually, the Marvel one isn't that bad. It's yeah, the Disney one is like so the Marvel one, like the Marvel side, yeah, that's kind of shitty. They just cut the ones that were cut from that. Um, I know it's the only thing I didn't mind in Infinite was the fact Jedi was in the game, and I no matter one like if you add more Darkstalkers characters, I'll be happy with that
That'd be kind of
because
cool.
that fucking series needs to like get that's a series needs to come back like properly.
Yeah, it really should. I agree with that.
I love
Let's let's keep up with chat right quick. I don't want to. I don't want to just have him talking to himself and not getting the response.
yeah,
It's
it's fine.
kind of
So,
screwed up.
yeah.
Let me see. Let me see. Catching back up. Okay, again, and I'll just go through all of it before we pick back up on the conversation. After 4 years of flexing and no, I'm sorry, one back. The cool, hip, wise, confident people are finally tasting what it's like to be on the punching bag slash laughing stock of the internet and society to an extent. After 4 years of flexing and overconfidence, criticism, and resistance against him, Trump, alt-right, anti-SJWs, skeptics, etc., was growing over the
Mm.
years, but it finally blew over in 2020 because of the coronavirus and the protests slash riots. And of course, Donald Trump losing the election and the Capitol Hill incident. I can imagine a lot of moderate, centrist, neutral people would have tolerated Trump and his supporters, but begging with the coronavirus and everything that happened after that, their respect and credit they built for them slowly but surely started to go downhill. And the Capitol Hill incident and their reaction to that basically killed a lot of people's respect for them. It's like watching a previously overconfident and smug group of people growing more and more delusional and hostile, becoming the monsters and bullies they made everyone else out to be. The Smash
No, that
community. That's the Smash community right there.
no, honestly, that is a really good analysis of
Yeah.
every um. And coming from someone that used to be, I mean, I was not massively into it, but I know that I kind of had a somewhat slight, like one of those quote unquote anti SJW phases, but that was more when I was on Tumblr. And that was more kind of getting annoyed. I mean, looking back, it kind of was like very silly, and a lot of the stuff that I used to get annoyed of, I'm even somewhat agree with it now. So, a lot of that was just me not was just kind of me being a bit reactionary, I suppose. But I never really got into watching like the YouTuber types because that was just like always the same shit they talked about, and I just didn't care. Like even now, when like will search some of those channels, they just it's become to the point now that anything that's like not anything that is slightly progressive, they just go, oh, it's woke, it's SJW, and it's just like just shut the fuck up, like, and it's
Yeah.
like it has become like it's just kind of like become a big like angry circle jerk, really.
Yeah, that's re- yeah, you're right. Absolutely
And
right.
they are like, and then more of them, it's like a lot of them are clearly just really fucking miserable, but then they put on this like you're right, this kind of smug like mask, thinking, "Oh, I'm better," and it's like if you like pump out 3 or 4 videos every day, and I don't know, talk about fucking what's the one they talk? Oh, I know one guy is like completely obsessed with that Brie Larson person. He's like made like must have been 100, like must have been by now 100 videos on her release or something. It's like, and the thing about those videos is there's no real thought behind them. They just like see a headline or see something on fucking Twitter and then make a video about it. And it's like it's just soulless and it's just crap. And at that point I'm like, okay, who really cares about I mean Twitter, there's like dumb people on any site, and I mean I only post my art on Twitter. I don't use it for anything else now because I just feel I don't really want to. I kind of feel that it was more fun to me to just post art or like things and that's it, and not comment really on anything else because it just made me miserable when I did that. Um,
Yeah.
it's like I don't know, like I get really annoyed that and the thing is like these types of people, like ironically, that claim to be free speech are like massively like very anti it and very anti art because the amount
Strange,
of
isn't
time
it?
the amount of times I have seen, if you have a character that's like, it's very like, let's say you make a character, and it's mostly if it's like more female ones,
Mm-hmm.
um, you make a character that's not white, not like quote unquote conventionally attractive at all, or any of this stuff, and and particularly if it's someone a franchise, the amount of shit you'll get from that crowd, like screaming at you saying, "Oh, it's woke, it's SJW shit." It's just like, and the thing is, I've seen this stuff even on like original characters. I mean, I've seen comments before um that have like said, "Oh, these characters like look like this. It looks like SJW artwork. I don't want to play this game because of that." I'm like,
What the fuck?
yeah, it's kind of gotten. I mean,
I don't
granted, I
get
imagine
that.
that is probably a very vocal minority, but it's interesting seeing people that claim to be for like all pro free speech and all this stuff tend to be very not. I mean, yeah, you don't have to like something, but to essentially like harass people and sort of like be so dismissive over something is just really kind of shitty and nasty. And um, I don't know. For me, I just want to draw things, and
Yeah,
if people like it, cool. If you don't like it, well, that's cool.
yeah.
Um,
Thank you. Thanks for at least looking at it, and
yeah,
have a nice day.
yeah, because I've um, I think one thing as well is this is not necessarily more about this kind of, not like this particular people here, but I really, really, really do not like the whole, and this is kind of, and I think it's because I used to be guilty of this, is being very dismissive of art or saying I don't like this because of this. And I used to not like a lot of anime style stuff, and I used to not watch anime for years because I didn't like the art style of it. And I now really regret that because in more recent years, I've been getting into a lot more anime and stuff. I mean, because I did used to watch some of it as a kid and everything, but like
Right.
I was very picky about it. But I would be so dismissive of so much of it because I didn't like the art style of it. And I've like seen that a lot, particularly when it comes to like Anthro stuff. When people are like, "Oh, I don't like it. It's furry stuff, so I'm not gonna play this or watch it." It's like, really, you're gonna not even give it a chance for that reason? That's really it's really close. It's really like shallow and very close minded, I think.
Yep. Like, well, that's your loss. I mean, that
Mm.
just makes it more available for me to play.
And like, it was so funny seeing some of the like. I remember like when the Beastars like anime came out, and how many people would like unironically go and like, um, I'm not a furry, but I'm like, just please shut the fuck up. You don't have to be a part of a community to like a fucking show. And that's
Right.
kind of someone who is part of said community, or even you don't have to be that to like a show or like that particular artwork. And it annoys me that like that sort of attitude has become so normalized because it's so dismissive and just it's just dumb. um
Admittedly, I will. Admittedly, I will say, at least in my opinion. Of course, this is always an opinion. I could be
yeah,
wrong. I could be right. Whatever. But
yeah,
in my opinion, I feel a lot of the problems that comes with the like term, as far as like labeling people like furries and whatnot, definitely came from America. I truly think we ought to blame to that for that.
i mean I mean you do. I mean, obviously, i I probably, yeah. I mean, I know there are obviously like really like really anti types who are like not from America, because I mean you get them.
Yeah.
You're always gonna, but I think generally speaking though, I think
Typically, if you're gonna come across someone who has an issue, or like try to call someone like a furry, 9 times out of 10 it will come from an American person. I don't know why it's like that. Again, this is just my thoughts. I don't know how right I am about it. I could be wrong too, but
yeah, I mean I don't really. I think even before I was one, I never saw issue with it or any of them at all. I'm like, I don't get it. Why
oh
are
shoot,
you
I
like
forgot to. I'm sorry.
why are you like people like basically molding and getting raging over this? This is I don't get it. What's to get really angry about? And it's strange because some of them just get. I mean, I don't, to be honest, I don't. I tend to just kind of I don't really come across it properly because I don't really spend much time on like other communities at all. And but if I do, a lot of it I'm just like, oh, whatever, who cares? It's people just get it's just the internet. But like I don't. It's very odd to like. It's almost sort of just getting mad at someone's like, it's like, fuck you, you like something, you like something that I don't like, basically. That's what it
Right.
that's kind of what it kind of comes across as. And I don't know, it's just weird seeing people get so like really angry over it.
And I
And
don't understand why. And like, if you don't like it, go about your
yeah,
own business. Who the fuck cares?
um,
That's the way it should be, and that's in everything. If it does not affect you personally, why the hell do you care?
basically.
Right?
Yeah, but it's like no, it's like I know what it seems that like some of these types of people just see they think no, it's almost like they think, oh, well, my opinion only matters and that's it. That's what it sort of feels like, I suppose.
Yeah, and I don't understand that like thought process.
Which is a horrible, like, if that's your attitude, that's a horrible attitude to have, and that is gonna um
Be a downfall.
it's just gonna make you just a miserable fuck. Like for example, I even even if I wasn't one myself, I wouldn't want to be friends with anyone like that anyway, because I would think, wow, you just sound like a really bitter, just judgmental person. Why would the fuck would I want to be your friend?
Right.
Like
And
that's a horrible trait to have. Like, fix yourself. Don't be like that.
yeah, and this is not gonna be a popular statement what I'm about to say, but from all the stuff I've experienced growing up and general life, this is basically what it became to. But it's that process what you just said about being judgmental and whatnot is one of the biggest reasons why I'm not religious at all. That's that is the absolute biggest reason why I'm not religious at all. Growing up as a black kid, enjoying other music besides rap and hip hop and stuff got me a lot of flack, a lot of shit growing up. Even now.
It's it's really it's horrible though, because
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
terrible.
it's like saying, oh, because you are this skin color, you have to like this music, and only this music, and if you go beyond that, that's like weird. I'm like, that's that's just fucking awful. That's a awful, and and I imagine that obviously, yeah, I can imagine that did a lot of fucking damage.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah, and there's no recovering for me as far as that goes. I am a lost cause as far as like trying to get me back on that side of like religion. I'm gone. Like I'm long gone.
I just never. I think what because I was brought up as a Catholic. Well, it's not a very strict one to be fair, but I luckily I didn't really have many. I know what you're all thinking, because Catholicism and Catholic crazy. I know what you're all thinking, but no,
No.
that didn't happen. Fortunately, as far as I'm aware, I don't think it happened in the church that I used to go to.
So
Like,
this one time at band camp, no, I'm sorry.
yeah.
That was such a.
And then suddenly I didn't just like
I
go
couldn't help it.
silent because I have a thought that was just a memory that just got repressed. But no, I'm joking. Um, but like I just kind of felt like this isn't really for me. I just as I got older, I'm like, this just isn't for me at all. I didn't I didn't really hate it. I just didn't really. I was like, I didn't I didn't feel like I needed to go,
Right.
so I just didn't. And I think um I mean I did. I think when I was around like 18 or so, when I was like still discovering myself, like, and everything, I did wonder, should I did sort of think, I did go back like once just to see, like, because obviously that was more as a kid, and and as your kid, your views drastically changed it. But I
Right.
went back and still like, nah, it isn't for me. But obviously, that I just thought I wanted to know. Um,
You wanted to see if things were different.
yeah, and it was just like, nah.
It's
It
a
was,
it's about the same.
mm,
I don't know. It's just strange. It's just
mm,
strange world we live in, my friend.
mm,
But if nothing else, my general philosophy and theory will not change,
mm,
and that, of course, is if I'm not in danger of being like if I'm not in danger of being harmed by it,
mm.
then I don't care what you do.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, that's pretty
Like,
fair, right?
it's a yeah, it's a very fair and very valid argument.
You or anybody else is free to think any way you want. I'm not saying that it's right or wrong, no matter what the topic is. You figure that shit out for yourself, like morally and all that kind of stuff.
I think.
But the part where it becomes an issue with me, if my family is in harm because of it,
Mm.
I'll hurt you. Don't mess with me and my family. That's it. And I think that's pretty fair to put everybody on that same rule set, right?
Yeah, totally.
And that's literally how I've lived my life my like this entire time. Just to be fair towards everybody. And I think like living with that mentality the way I've done it, I think has actually helped me a lot. As far as like just like making friends with people, talking with people
Mm.
and stuff like that. I think it's helped me a lot. Like going with
Yeah,
that mind process.
yeah, I completely agree. I was gonna say something.
Let's see.
Uh,
I'm gonna stop drawing for this right quick. I actually want to test and see if this will actually work. What I'm about to do. I'm gonna close up Krita, and I actually want to show you some of the Sonic 3 Angel Island revisited stuff.
do it. Sonic Air.
Yeah, Sonic 3 Air. But let
I was.
I'm gonna say this right now, and it's this is like one of those very bold claims, but I'm certain a lot of people who's played this who will agree with me on this.
Mm.
Sonic 3 Air is the absolute definitive version that I would recommend to everybody. You know, I've modded that so much as I've gotten it. As far as like soundtracks, difficulty.
Mm.
I've modified it so much I can't see myself playing the original Sonic 3 anymore.
I think that can happen though. Like, if you have the original, like if you like have the modded version or something, or particularly if it's like obviously even as a PC port, you just can't go back to. I mean, my example would be I actually posted one of them into fucking in uh in our other Discord. Was It was basically the GoldenEye 64 like PC port, because it's like, yeah, you can play GoldenEye 64 without using an N64 controller, and it's mouse and keyboard. It runs at 60 FPS. Oh, and you can get custom shit for it. Well, because when I first played that version with a mouse and keyboard, it was like it was like playing that game brand new for the first time again. It was like, this is perfect. This is actually perfect.
Let me.
Like,
Oh,
this game
controller.
was designed to be played with a fucking mouse and keyboard. That's my PC, my PC game is coming out. I'm sorry. But like,
Nah, that's
um,
good. That's fine.
but I did this mad motherfucker in the thing I posted. There's someone got Peach's Castle for Mario 64, um, and made that into a GoldenEye level, while also replacing all the Russian soldiers with like Koopas, and replaced Mario as like James Bond as Mario. So
Oh, that's cool.
I posted it in the Matt server chat, the step server one.
Okay. I'll have to. Yeah, I'll definitely take a look into that. Let's start from the top as far as like how great this actually is. So, are you looking at the stream right now?
Yep.
Okay. Now this is the main menu. Let me make sure audio is. I want to make sure you can at least hear the music and stuff on it too. Yeah. Okay. So, first, let me show you the mods, because everyone knows how Sonic 3 and Knuckles plays. Like, everyone knows the game.
Mm-hmm.
What you see on the left is the active mods that I have going. On the right is the inactive mods. I'm gonna just scroll down.
I still think that Sonic 3 and Sonic 3 and Knuckles are like my favorite of the Sonic Genesis games as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So it's so fucking sad. I mean, thank God for this mod. It's so sad that
Sega won't do anything
they can't, well, they can't really for Sonic 3 because apparently because of how
because of
the
Jackson.
soundtrack- because of Jackson. It's also because of Ice Cap Zone and being like a literal unreleased track. But it's just like the instrumental and just converted that and put that through the Mega Drive sound Genesis sound chip. Sorry, more specifically the YM. The YM612 sound chip, if you want to be technical, but anyway, it's a Yamaha one, and
So
yeah,
let's
see,
put some of this into action. I'm not gonna do the whole game here, but I at least want to show off like some of the mods that got implemented into this.
yeah,
A lot of this stuff you're not gonna expect to hear. I promise you that. So let's get started. Right from the beginning, I got most of the music from Sonic Mania included in this now. Like the Mania remixes of the songs. For Knuckles' theme, I gave him the Hardboiled Heavies. That is a good song. If you notice, I'm doing a drop dash. Also from Sonic Mania. And I am absolutely spoiled by it. It makes this game so much better.
I think it's really. I'm sorry. I am listening and watching. Unfortunately, when it comes to Knuckles, Knuckles is Sonic Adventure 1 version has just completely ruined the character for me forever now.
Yeah, that's
Because
fair.
of- Oh no.
Oh no. By the way, there actually is a mod for that you can put that sound effect into this game.
It's amazing. I would just.
You see speed shoes, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the classic games, it would just speed the music up. But thanks to the mod, it actually has its own theme.
Mm.
And of course, I put the awesome theme from Sonic Mania for the speed shoes.
I also one of the because again, everyone when it comes to the Angel Island themes, it's always Act 1 that gets the attention. I'm like, it's good, but Act 2 is more
Way better. Way better than Act 1.
It's put that one in fucking Smash. Actually, that reminds me, I am tempted to start making some music mods for Smash Ultimate, but because I actually know how to do it, but I need to mod my Switch to do that, and I'm still debating that because I'm worried that if I mod it, I would basically fuck it up.
Yeah, be very careful with that.
Yeah, it's a real shame because I want to do it, but because I used to make music mods for Wii game. I made music mods for Smash Brawl back in the day.
Right.
Um, but I was just like, you know what? I want to. One of the music mods I want to do for Ultimate is just because I've even worked out like which stage would be best for each track. I just want to like put like Stuart Copeland's like Spyro Trilogy music into that game.
Yeah, it's very situational.
Yeah, and the thing's a lot of like one of them in particular that is perfect because like the stage looks like one. They stages look like each other, and they're also like dreamy places. Is Magicant and Earthbound? That is perfect for the track like Lofty Castle. It is perfect. I even like played it like side by side of my versions. Like this is perfect. I want to do this. I mean, who knows? Maybe we could get that music in the game. It could be added. It's probably not likely, but you know, you never know.
Hey, check this out, Macro. You see how Sonic is spinning on the spring?
Yep.
That's the CD effect.
Oh, that is Sonic CD.
And that was like just a minor change, but it looks so much better. If you look at the bottom, there's actually a health bar now for the bosses. And here's another thing. There's actually a mod to where the bosses now has the Knuckles difficulty. So while I'm playing as Sonic and Tails right now, the boss's behavior is of the Knuckles' fights.
Oh.
Which actually makes them a lot harder. And
I do.
there's a like a custom boss theme as well, like a mini theme. And oh, you're gonna really love this part. I'm not gonna say anything. Just listen. Okay, did you hear it?
I'm not quite caught up yet.
Oh, okay. How much of a delay is it?
It's like 20 seconds or so.
Ouch. Stupid
Yeah.
YouTube. I shall wait patiently.
Oh, I think I might have heard it.
That was also a mod.
Oh, that is sick.
That's good, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I figured you would appreciate that. Because while people say like how iconic the Sonic 3 victory theme is, nah, the Sonic CD Japanese is the best one in my opinion.
I was really interested with Sonic CD how the North American like music was different to the Japanese and PAL version.
Yeah.
I was finding it interesting was the samples that were used in Sonic CD because in one of the future tracks, I think it's one of the future tracks in the PAL version has a sample that's used in one of the tracks in Ratchet and Clank 1.
Oh, that's right. I actually remember you showing me that.
And it's funny because when you go on like that, you don't really get many people commenting on the Sonic one, but if you go on the Ratchet and Clank track, you get so many people that say like Sonic CD and the time. To be fair, people do that on in Majora's Mask and in one of the tracks in Majora's Mask and one of the tracks in Spyro 1, they use there's the same sample, and in both of those people both of those people will like reference each other in the video, which I think is quite funny.
That's kind of
like,
cool.
You go on the older one, it's just like Spyro fans, like you know that, and you go on like the Spyro one, it's just like Majora's Mask fans, where are you?
Here's here's a huge change from the original to the remake. You know the sequence where you're dodging the missiles from the plane in Angel Island. They actually changed the they changed the rotation of the way the missiles are dropped.
Oh, that is sick.
I'm not gonna lie, I got my ass kicked the first time I got there. I'm like, wait, I can't just hold right anymore.
Yep.
Bye,
I always
Tails.
see, this is what I love about Sonic 3 as well. Is how Eggman of Robotnik just meant business because he set fire to the fucking island to try and kill you.
Yeah.
At this point. I always liked did you know that they actually would back when Sat AM was like still airing, they were actually planning on doing like a Sat AM like Sonic game on the Genesis.
Oh, that would have been cool.
But they never did it, which is kind of sad because I would have loved that. Because someone actually made this comparison, and it's like something I can relate to too heavily. Because someone said that like Sat AM with like the unique characters like General Tone and and the uniqueness of it
Yeah.
is the Sonic is that is Sonic what Super Mario RPG is to Mario, and it's just like
Oh my god.
perfect. It is perfect because both of them have very unique characters that are loved by people even now. They're both of them involve like they are both like different takes on like two well-established characters and franchises. Both of them have villains that are to do with basically wanting to mechanize everything.
Oh shit, you're right. I didn't even think about that.
They also were both like they came out around the same time, and they were both made by both of them have like massive legal issues because Sat AM wasn't made by Sega, and Mario RPG wasn't made by Nintendo, that was Square Enix. So
Wow.
And so yeah,
That's weird.
and when someone points that out, I'm like, that is one of the most perfect analogies I can think of for those two. It's just, but like,
That
I
is
would have loved
trippy.
like an like game because that would have been awesome.
Or at least like a IDM, or like the IDM Sonics. Hey, Mage.
Well, I think those like Sonics were they were kind of like I think they were made around the same time, from what I recall, and they were both like reference each other because I know that because like Sally Akron and like all of her like the Freedom Fighters were in the was it the Archie comics? Yeah, it was the Archie comics.
Yeah.
I think weren't they referenced in the IBM comics, or that's not the case? Am I getting confused?
I know that like the IDM comics and the Archie comics are two entirely different things.
Yeah, no, they are. I know the Archie comics like ended anyway, and I know that like none of that is like fucking canon anymore because did you know the controversy involving the Archie comics at all?
I know there was like a lot of debates between like who owned characters.
Yeah, because obviously a lot of the comics were done by a guy called Ken Pandas,
Yeah.
who is a very controversial person in the Sonic community because he made some very questionable decisions. He also like had this weird obsession of, I think no joke, he had about like fucking 50, like it must have been like 50 echidna characters. He was obsessed with them. There was just like every new issue, I was a new echidna character now. And but what was the thing? I think it was the I don't know the name of the game now, but there was that Sonic RPG game that was on DS.
Oh god, to my Sonic Chronicles.
Yeah, I know it's a shitty game, but like also another thing that's kind of tainted is that game is the reason why Archie comics kind of had to end because
Are you serious?
yeah, because the reason why is because because the villain in Chronicles, Ken Pandas basically accused Sega of saying you ripped off that villain, you ripped off my character. I'm not even kidding. And there was an actual lawsuit involving it, and
Wow.
fucking Ken Pandas won. He won the lawsuit.
That's cool, actually.
cool.
Mage, I'm sorry. Give me just one moment, Mac. I need to answer Mage right quick. Mage, to answer your question, yes, this is Sonic 3, but this is a fan game variation of Sonic 3, which allows a lot of modification. For example, you are currently listening to Rusty Ruin Zone from Sonic 3D Blast on Sandopolis Zone. Two entirely different games, but like one song is on another, which I think is pretty cool. Changing gears back to the Sonic controversies. There was one that I was aware of. It was the Tails and Bobby the Koala.
I remember. Yeah, I think I know that one now.
I don't understand why that was like such a huge. I don't understand what. Well, I do kind of understand why it was a huge controversy. At least it was from one of the writers. Like he was severely against that, like the whole Tails and Bobby ship, because of how much older Bobby was compared to Tails.
And
I was like, man, Tails cannot catch a break when it comes to dating characters.
Yeah, his character. So many of his characters just like leave or fucking die. That was sad. Poor Tails.
Yeah. It's like either he gets a clone girlfriend or his character or his Dale. God damn it, Tails. Or his dating characters are like clones or they get killed. There we go. Explanation: Sonic Mega Collection Plus. Ah, that's fair. So.
Was it? Oh, it's like
Oh wow. I mean, a lot of people do because of the age range, but they don't interact that often. That's the problem. So, there's not much material there to really put it there.
I always love like the Sonic Sonic character ages range because they're either like all like young children, teenagers, or they're like really fucking old adults. And that's
Yeah.
like isn't and it kind of is actually hinted a bit in the comics, but I always found the one that's always interesting to me was fucking Vector and was it
Vanilla.
Because Vanilla's like 14 and Vector's like 19 or like 20 or something.
No,
But like
Vanilla's not 14.
40.
Oh, 4D. Okay, yeah.
40. And that's just like I think Vector likes the
Cougar life, Cougar life.
I mean, you know, I guess that, you know, that's just how much of a Chad Vector is. But like, I always found it funny with like Sonic characters because it's like, you know, Sonic is like 16, I think. Or he's like 15, 16, and Tails is like 8.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm I'm the cool like teenager, and I got like this geeky 8-year-old that just follows. He's like my
Eggman
best friend who follows me around.
That is one of the weirdest ships I've heard from the Sonic series.
I wouldn't be surprised if it is a thing because this is okay. I'll be real. A lot of the Sonic community is like fine. There is weird stuff in it, but a lot of the weird stuff kind of feels like a joke. Like. Or like it's so, or maybe I'm just so desensitized to it. I just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I'm just not weirded out by it anymore now because like I've been aware of it for years, and I'm just like, oh, whatever, who cares? Also, Sonic has never. I think that Spyro still one up Sonic because Sonic doesn't have Spyro's subway. nothing has Spyro Subway, and until any other franchise or fandom has that equivalent, I still think he takes the crown.
Oh my god, it actually kills me through the shield as well.
Fucking... Do you know what? I
Uh,
always find
I'm sorry, I need to explain what just happened because this is a little confusing.
no, actually, you probably want to talk about that, not talk about a messed up drawing anyway.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. I'm playing Sandopolis Act 2, which is the inside the pyramid level, like where the ghosts, like they go, like where they attack you.
Yes.
I have 3 different mods attached onto this one level. One, Rusty Ruins Act 2 is playing, like the Genesis song soundtrack is playing on this level. 2, the ghosts, regardless of what form they're on, one hit, they'll kill you.
Oh no.
Regardless if you have rings or not.
That's just asshole-ish.
Yeah. And here's number 3. Just today, I found a mod that removes all of the little light switches. You know, like where the stage goes dark and like you pull the switch and it gets light again.
Mm.
All of them are gone.
Mm.
So yeah, I've made this level insanely difficult. Like right there where I paused at just now. I know there's a delay.
Sadistic. That is so sadistic what you've done.
This coming from the guy who almost I'm almost done with 100% in Super Meat Boy.
Oh.
Yes,
Yeah.
I am a sadistic gamer. I admit that. I am a sadistic gamer. I really am.
I think my challenge would be to if you like difficult, try getting all the high ranks on Hotline Miami 2 hard mode. I did that. I wanted to fucking kill myself towards some levels because it was just horrible. On one of the levels, to get the proper ranking, you on one part of that game you can't die. If you fail on one map part, you won't get the proper ending. You won't get the proper rank for it.
Oh wow.
That took me 2 hours to do it. And if it weren't for the fucking amazing soundtrack, I would have just given up. But
Well,
that's one of the few games. You know how sometimes you play a game and it has a really amazing soundtrack or a good track,
Yeah.
and the level it plays on is a complete absolute bastard of a level that should just like not exist.
Oh yeah.
And it kind of like makes you think, I love this track, but also I'm getting PTSD from listening to this because I know how much I hated it. But I know that my mate Burger is gone now, but what they were saying about I've been pretty far outside the extreme internet weird stuff for now, and that's weird. Yeah, that's me. I have so much like inexperience that like most of the weird stuff,
Yeah.
whatever about now, I'm just like, okay, cool. The only thing that
shoot,
would
that was
probably
bad.
really bother me if it's like something that's like actually like real life, that's kind of like graphic. I'm like, yeah. But like, you don't really sort of see that. You have to like really look for that sort of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
sort of, like, really messed up graphic stuff. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna look for that. But yeah, I think it's interesting because you know when you see when people will say, oh, you know, I don't know, you come across some fucking, I don't know, Sonic diaper inflation art or something. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean it's really
Like,
weird.
I think regarding, I won't mention the name of it because you probably know what it is. But the only reason one of the pitch for that particular picture is there's a kind of weird mystery to it because no one knows who actually made it.
Oh wow.
So, I know that you know those iceberg like memes that have been going around. There's like iceberg like theory videos and there's iceberg memes and everything. like there's that Super Mario 64 one, there's Sonic ones, now there's like loads of them. But there was a Spyro one, and that picture was on the iceberg. And when I was like, because I was curious, when I was looking at the iceberg, I was seeing how much they like knew of the weird trivia. Like, I got most of it. There's only a couple of things I didn't know that. But anyway, what was interesting was when it was mentioned about that particular picture, there was just like, no one knows who drew it. It was just like been posted, and it's like almost like it's a mystery itself, because I don't know, like when nowadays, when like if like a weird picture like weird art gets posted, people will like know who's drawn it.
Yeah.
And even some cases, like people will like the artist will own up to it, particularly if it blows up, because they can like think, oh hey guys, look, it was me who drew this. Everyone please laugh now. But with the case of that one, it's almost a mystery itself, because it's like no one knows who drew it, and I don't know, does anyone want to spend the time actually wanting to research this? Knowing full well that, oh hey, I found out the guy or this person who drew this particular image. My life is now fulfilled. I can now die happy knowing that I did that.
I mean, it's crazy. Some people put too much dedication on like the silliest things.
It's crazy, but like, I don't know. Like, maybe it's one of those like internet mysteries that will never be solved.
Or at least stuff like that shouldn't be solved. I'd say, no. You know, like, leave it be.
See, I can't. I think there's a kind of have you ever heard of there's a term that I like to use, is called actually I don't just coined it now, but I'm gonna coin it anyway. But it's called I would call it Schrodinger's like fetish, because it's like you don't know whether it was drawn as a fetish or whether it was drawn as a joke.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Because a part of me is like, I don't know, because I could argue it's both, but then I won't argue because I don't want to. I'm just gonna stop now because I'm not gonna. Let's just move on.
Ah.
Let's just move on from this.
Yeah. To change gears, I'm playing Doomsday Zone right now, which is the official last level of this game, with some modifications on here as well. The song you are hearing right now is the final boss theme from Sonic Mania, which I love that song more than I do Doomsday Zone. Yeah, I know, sue me. The part that really makes this difficult though is every asteroid hit I take, I lose rings. So I can't bulldoze my way through the stage like people normally did back in the day. Like I've been playing the stage for almost 3 minutes and I only got one hit off of him. And I'm about to die. I'm down to 6 rings. Okay, I'm on 10. Nope, 8. But like it's a lot harder now. Excuse me? What just happened?
I'm a bit behind. I'm still watching it, but
suddenly I have, and I don't know what happened, 65,510 rings.
Well, this should make this level like a lot easier now.
Yeah, you think? I can literally bulldoze through everything now, but I'm a little confused. Like, what happened?
That seems like a glitch. That shouldn't have happened.
No, that definitely should not happen.
That is not in. I don't know whether that might have been a glitch with like the mod in particular, but I know that has never happened to me in like the vanilla game.
Yeah, it's the mod. It's definitely the mod, but it's so weird. I've never seen this happen before.
was is it wrong that I always think of even though I played this game growing up, when I think of the Doomsday themes, well, I do think of Super Mario Bros. Z.
That's
I
fair.
do though, because he does that heavy metal as the rock remix of it.
Right.
That was actually done. Or not was it not a remix? It's a cover. That was actually done. It was a Sonic and it was a Sonic 3 like sort of like album that is an official one.
Oh, check this out. Brand new boss for Knuckles.
Knuckles. You know, I actually kind of want if Knuckles ever, I mean, it's not gonna happen because trophy, because he's an assist. Is Knuckles an assist trophy in Ultimate? I can't remember.
He is.
Okay, well that's definitely a no-no. But anyway, if he was gonna be in like a Smash game, or if he still is, they would have to do like Smash and Knuckles. You'd have to put Knuckles in the end.
Yeah.
Done. It's like if you put fucking Dante in Smash, it has to be like you gotta do that starring like Dante for the Devil May Cry series.
Yeah.
I have no idea who the fuck is gonna be in now because I did not see Steve or fucking Sephiroth from anywhere.
I didn't see that coming either.
And I'm happy at that because that's interesting. Like if it's one I'm completely not expecting, that's more interesting to me. I mean, I think I'm happy with all the choices so far. I mean, I was actually really happy about Terry because I like SNK fighting games. It's like,
Oh hell yeah, I love King of Fighters.
King of Fighters is King of Fighters and Fatal Fury is sick. I love it. Oh, it's funny I should mention. Oh. I thought you were gonna go and fight Mecha Sonic there.
Well, nah. I mean, everyone knows that fight, and there was nothing new to that one.
Yeah.
I wanted to, like, I'm just trying to really show off like a lot of mod stuff that I added.
Yeah. I mean, I know. I really wish it's never gonna happen, but I actually kind of wish they brought back Mecha Sonic. I think he looks fucking cool. He looks. I don't know. He kind of looks quite sinister.
You mean like the You talking about the Sonic 2 Mega Sonic, or the Sonic 3 one?
Great.
Yeah.
I love that him because I think it's because of the fact that because he has that like visor thing with like the one eye in the middle.
Yeah.
It looks really like fucking cool. And it sort of looks a bit... It kind of looks very... It doesn't look Sonic, and I like that. Like,
yeah.
I know it's a weird thing to say, but I kind of like that when you have, like, think of his villains that look quite intimidating. It's one of the reasons why I quite like, the older Paper Mario games with the villains, particularly like the Thousand Year Door, because they don't look like Mario characters, but it works.
Right. It has that same like Mario kind of like silliness with it.
But then it's dark. I mean, fucking hell. The final boss in the Thousand Year Door is legit kind of scary, particularly how she fucking kills all of the audience by just draining them. The fucking hand, the pit of hands is legit creepy because it pulls you into it as well. I don't know, as a kid, I legit thought that was really disturbing. Also, the boss was like hard. I mean, it's not that hard for me now because I know what to do. But
right, but back then it was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I got the pingish sound effect every time I hit a bumper.
I am so happy that these old memes are kept alive.
Yeah, that is a timeless one.
It actually fills me with joy when I'm seeing people still make memes about fucking Morshoot from the YouTube group.
Yeah.
Like he's become a meme again because you probably have seen it or probably have like seen the meme, but have you seen that beatboxing meme?
Yeah.
That was the Thanos beatbox. Yeah, of course you have it. Most people, but like they did when people have like just got that sound clip and just gave it to Morshoot. And then people making all stuff about Morshoot and like I'm just like it's great because I remember when YouTube Poop was like in its early days and you'd have all this Zelda CGI stuff and Hotel Mario and you know
my boy
Hedgehog with like Pingus and everything.
Yeah. Damn it, Tails, you got me hit twice.
Can I also say that in the Adventures of Sonic, it's actually canon at one point that Tails legit takes a puff out of a cigarette.
Yeah.
He does, because the whole Sonic says no smoking and Grounder gives him a cigarette. I don't know why, I just find that funny to me. Oh, and also, because that was the thing, it was... I know that it's like kind of the whole Sonic Says thing is kind of corny, obviously, but I'm amazed that like he basically in one of those he legit actually says, you know, basically telling kids that if you're like being touched inappropriately, you know, you should like tell your pet, like tell someone.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's like obviously good because you know it's raising awareness, but there's also kind of a weird. It might be because my sense of humor is quite morbid in a way, but my sense of humor also does find it kind of funny seeing Sonic basically telling kids like about that. I don't know.
No! This boss is so much harder now. Now I don't. I'm again. My masochism kicked in again, and I took away Sonic's insta shield. Sonic.
I imagine there's a fucking mod of Sonic in this.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
He's like, yeah, it's gotta be. That meme is like so fucking old. It's like from 2012, I think, something. It's
Yeah.
2011, 2012.
Oh
And
no.
it was even referenced in the fucking movie. Even though I haven't actually seen that movie all the way through, I know that like fucking Sonic is in it, or it's referenced.
Are you talking about the live action movie?
Yeah. I haven't seen it all the way through. I've only seen parts of it.
Yo, Real Talk Tales is getting me bodied right now.
Poor Tails. You know, for an 8-year-old, he's pretty fucking badass in the fact he just gets bodied all the time in this game and he just takes it.
Yeah, I just wish Sega would stop taking away his character development.
I know. He went through 2 games of this and you took it away from him. He's like, oh, now he's like a screaming infant now. Yeah, thank you. Who's afraid of things.
Yeah, because now he can't defend himself at all.
It's like, are you fucking serious? I know that really pisses me off.
Dude,
like,
oh my god, Sonic Forces pissed me off so much.
That game is some fucking travesty. It's shit, and that game isn't just mediocre. That game is just shit. It is just awful. Because some Sonic 3D games that aren't that great or anything, I think, oh, they're kind of mediocre, but you know they're not like, and they don't make me mad.
Right.
That Sonic Forces legit made me fucking mad in so many ways. It is a fucking shit game. I would not. And that is one game that I would not defend until I'm like, no, it is shit. Fuck that game.
No, it's like at least at least with 06, it had like a good soundtrack. Unleashed had good Sonic, like regular Sonic gameplay. What else was I gonna say? I mean, Heroes wasn't that bad. I mean, it was mediocre, but it wasn't terrible.
I'm kind of an apologist for Heroes because I love. Okay, I'm a bit of an apologist for Heroes because it's for nostalgic reasons. But yeah, I know it's not that great. It's not bad. It's mediocre, but it has a fucking awesome soundtrack. And
Right.
don't get me wrong, I do like the fact that you can play as fucking Team PR6. That is cool because apart from Charm, actually, I kind of even like Charmy to a certain degree because he's so fucking annoying that there's like a charm. No pun intended, I suppose.
Yeah.
Because he's so fucking. His lines are so awful that I just find them funny. Like, chips? You mean potato chips?
Oh, I completely missed it.
I think even when I was like 12 when I first played that game, I was actually I think even that I was like, okay, I'm not even like because we don't call like chips over here. Like, what you call chips over there, we don't call it here. We call them crisps here. But but even at age, I still knew like the difference in language, and I was still like, that is a fucking joke. That legit made me, even though I hate using the term, that I was like cringing at that when I was 12.
Rightfully so.
I think Sonic Heroes was you know how there are games that you'd be embarrassed if someone were to walk in on you playing them.
Yeah.
Sonic Heroes is kind of like that because of how awful some of the dialogue is in that game. Oh, it's terrible.
Let's talk a little bit more about mods right quick, because I'm kind of like deteriorating from the whole point of me playing this to begin with. One of the cooler mods, well, a lot of the mods are cool, but one that I really like is, remember in Sonic 2, and I guess Mania counts now too, where if you was going fast enough, you would like leave the screen behind?
Yep.
In the original Sonic 3, they didn't have that feature where like they fixed it. But someone made a mod and put it back in for Sonic 3.
Oh.
And I'm telling you, it is orgasmic.
I actually want to play. I would definitely want to play that.
Here, I'm playing Hydrocity Act 2 intentionally to show that off for you right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at it at the moment. I'm also, I know there's a lag and all that because YouTube is fucking YouTube.
Yeah, there's a bit of a delay. But now he goes so fast, he will literally leave the screen. Or like damn near it. Here's the part I can really show it off at.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm seeing it. Haha, that is awesome.
That was one of the things I loved about Mania, was the fact that Sonic was going so fast, he left the screen.
Yeah, that's how Sonic should be.
Yeah,
like,
I agree. Also, the invincibility theme that I have for this is the NES remix version of the Super Mario Bros. 3 Starman.
That is pretty sick, not gonna lie. You know, there are actually two Nintendo. There are actually two Starman that are in two Nintendo franchises. There's the Mario Starman and there's the Earthbound Starman. Well, the
True.
Mario one. That reminds me, actually, there's mods. There is an incredible Earthbound mod that I played. Actually, no, I'm not playing. I'm still playing it at the moment. It's called Cognitive Dissonance, and it's basically takes place just before Earthbound, and it actually takes place on like Gygus' planet. So the you play as like the fucking aliens, like the mechs and like the the Starmen.
Right.
And it's really cool because you learn about like all like the stuff that's like mentioned in Earthbound, like the Apple of Enlightenment and everything, and you also like know about like prophecies, and it kind of mentioned, and in some cases it actually shows that the ones you're playing as are kind of trying to stop Gygus, because not all of like the aliens in Earthbound are like evil, and not all of those ones are. The only reason they attack you in Earthbound, according to this game, is because of the fact that well, they're under they're under his command.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But they were also saying like how Gygus is like wanting to get like an Earth child and like basically corrupt him, which is Porky. To kind of do his bidding.
That makes sense.
Because again, it makes, and also because there's a whole debate whether Porky was actually evil all along, or whether Gygus just corrupted to the point that it never left him.
I want to say, I mean, now that I played 2 and 3, I can actually give my opinion on this. I think he got corrupted in 2 and was long gone in 3.
Yeah. Oh, he was completely gone. Particularly seeing the state of him in 3, because he basically like destroyed himself. He made himself become like a paradox. He that's why he couldn't die, because he time travels so much that he shouldn't have done. He kind of broke the rules of it, so
yeah,
he was stuck in this like weird limbo that I can't do anything. I'm like, my body is like super old. I don't know how old I actually am, but
that's pretty sad if you think about it.
Yeah, it's really fucked up because it's...
and then he's trapped for eternity too.
Yeah. Oh god, that is, to me, that's still one of the most fucked up ways to like go in anything, because you will never die. He will never die because he can't. He's immortal. But he's forever trapped in that fucking capsule. It's like, the more you think about it, the more you realize that is like... I mean, he did some awful shit, but I still...
Yeah, don't get me wrong about that.
Like, no one deserves that fucking fate. Because there's no... It's like... I think even the developer, like, iToy, they actually said that, yeah, Porky will, like, see the end of, like, the universe and everything. He'll still be alive.
Just entirely alone.
Yep. Alone in the cold capsule.
That's crazy.
The thing is, as well, I don't think he would really go insane, because he already was. He already was broken to begin with. This is someone who basically time traveled and took loads of people from different time periods, brainwashed them into liking him, into joining his empire, and he built like an entire city dedicated to him.
Yeah.
And he only did that so he would basically destroy the world. He could just sit there and just laugh while it got destroyed. It was a really like... And also don't forget that what he did to like it's bad enough that he killed Klaus, but the fact he then like got his body and like reanimated it and made him like this cyborg. Particularly if you see, you know how Mother 3 has like loads of removed sprites and everything?
Yeah.
Some of the removed sprites of the Masked Man look really sad, because you can like see like Klaus a lot more like a cyborg when he takes his head off. Like he's like arms like properly like a gun now permanently, and he does not look human at all. And a part of me kind of wish they kept that, because it would have shown that like
regret.
Shown that he's like, even though he's like knows he's like in control now, the Klaus that was him is completely gone now.
Cameron, what you missed, we're talking about Earthbound and Mother 3, and as far as the gameplay is concerned, I'm playing Launch Base Zone. I want to show off one mod that I absolutely had to do. It was one of the first things I did. Macro, are you familiar with the Generations 3DS remix of Big Arms? The final boss for this game.
Not the 3DS version because I haven't played that version, but
Well, album-wise, by Cash Cash.
No, I think I have now. No, I have now. You bring it up.
Oh crap! I died. But what I did was I put that amazing remix as the final boss theme. Actually, no, I can show that with the I forgot how I can show it. Oops, that's wrong. I want Doomsday 1. Nope, that's the wrong one. Doomsday's 2. Yeah. This is like the general final boss, but if you hear the song, it's the remix they did for Generations. And God, is it good. And of course, because I don't have the Insta Shield, it actually makes this fight slightly harder. Not much, but it does make it a little bit tougher.
I don't like. I don't know what it is. I think it was more common on like Genesis games, but I always loved that like perspective where it would be this like the boss sprite would be like behind you and looking at you as a player, and it's an attacking downwards.
Yeah.
Like you have with the great Eggman Robo, and
for the record, I did not know that was his name until I got this mod for the life bars. I never knew that was the actual name of this boss.
I didn't. I did actually. Even well, not I. No, I think I did, but I didn't. I only knew the name of like the robots or Eggman's like bosses and robots like probably quite a while after I played them initially, because I mean, fuck, I was really young when I played the original Sonic games. So,
right.
I didn't have the first one. I only played the second and the third, and three and Knuckles. Admittedly, with Sonic 1, I only like the I'm not as keen on the vanilla version of that game. Well, I don't hate it, but it's my least favorite of the original Sonics, because not being able to spin dash just is annoying.
Yeah, I mean, Sonic Team and Sega got extremely lucky that Sonic 1 didn't put them out of business, because again, another controversial statement here, but Sonic 1 was not a good game.
No, it's aged pretty badly. And I don't want to do like the Mario versus Sonic thing, but when that was like, if you want to like with Sonic 1 versus like Super Mario, like Super Mario World, because those were like the competitive games, I'm like, yeah, no, it's on Mario World any day, because that fucking is way more fun to play. And Sonic 1 is maybe because I didn't play that one first, but Sonic 1, the only time I like it more when there's like, I think the re-release of it actually has spin dash on it now.
Oh yeah, the Christian Whitehead version.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I will play that one because it's almost like that's how it should be played. But playing a classic Sonic game without spin dash, yeah, no, fuck that. It's not fun. And yeah, I don't want to. I think like probably a lot of it because the developers weren't as familiar with like you know the level designs to begin with, and like the mechanics of Sonic.
Yeah.
But a lot of Sonic 1 levels, like zones, are a bit not bad, but there's not. I can't. When I think of my favorite Sonic like zones, I can't really think of any from the first game.
As far as the first game is concerned, the only ones that come to mind is Green Hill and Starlight.
Yeah, Starlight Zone's good.
Actually, no. Let me add on to that. Spring Yard. I love Spring Yard.
No, Spring Yard. Yeah, Spring Yard. Is a strong contender.
Now,
but...
Spring Yard wasn't meant to be a fast type level. I get that, but like just general platforming, it's fantastic. It is a great platforming zone.
I really, one of the ones I don't like much is
Marble Zone. Nobody likes Marble, and ironically, it's Marble Zone, which ironically made me think back like how bad Sonic 1 actually was.
It's a horrible design level.
Because think about it like this: back in the 90s, Sonic 1 specifically, what was the main advertising market behind it? Speed.
And they made the fucking second zone with very little of it and annoying ass the platform. It's just horrible. I think what is the issue is that Sonic, particularly with like no spin dash, Sonic was not designed, and with no tails to fucking lift you up either.
Right.
It's just like this was not designed for this fucking style of game. It would have probably been okay, maybe. Well, no, actually, it wouldn't be. Just the level itself is just shit. The zones are horrible. No, it's garbage. Fuck it.
It is.
It is. It's It reminds me. I mean, every platformer series I like always has one level that I'm just like, it's just like, it's shit. Either because it's badly designed or because it's just boring and it's dull. Crash Bandicoot has in the first game is what is it now? It's a really bad level. I fucking don't like. Oh, that's it. No, I know what it is. It's the fucking bridge levels. It's Road to Nowhere and Road to Nowhere can literally fuck off. Even though you can cheat on that level because you can actually because it's in the bridge where there's like the sort of like the ropes and everything, you can just jump on the ropes and just run across and just annoy jumping on like the wooden planks.
Oh, it's kind of cool. That's a cool concept.
Yeah, it is not a fun level though. And particularly trying to 100%, like if you want 100% Crash 1, you can't die at all in any level. If you die, it's game over. Well, not game over, but you won't be able to get the gem.
Oh wow.
You won't be able to because you got to break all the boxes. And in the first game, if you die, the box the counter resets. And obviously, because in Crash 1 or not, you can't often go back in certain areas, so you can't 100%. You can't get the gem because in order to get the gem, you have to get all the boxes and not die once at all. Only in the first game, the second, in the other games, they kind of got rid of that because they realized how bullshit it was, and it was annoying. Spyro has in the second game has a level called Scorch. And it's not hard or anything, it is just boring. It is not fun. The music, even it's one of my least favorite tracks by Copeland. It's not bad, but it's one of his weakest ones. There's no real challenge to the level, it's just, and there's nothing memorable, and it pretty much is just a loop. There's no way you can really fall off, there's no way you can really fly or glide, it's just shit. I hate, and the in Spyro 2 you have and in the third game you'd have an NPCs that would introduce you to the level. The ones in Scorch are just annoying. I just hate that fucking level. It's awful. So that's the thing. And with Sonic, with me, the originals, it's just Marble Zone. It's a fucking awful level.
Right, and had Marble Zone been placed someplace else, I don't think it would have been as like criticized.
And I think if I want to have if it was somewhere else, but being it was a second zone. Like, imagine being a kid in like the early 90s and you were told, oh, Sonic game, you can like run really fast, you know, the whole was it blast processing?
Yeah, like, blast processing. That was the market that they was after.
And oh hey, Green Hill Zone, yeah, fun. You know, you can run fast, and then you go to Marble Zone, lol.
Yeah, and you go like at a really slow snail pace.
Oh, you do, because there's like parts where you have to sit on those blocks across the lava. It's just awful. Like, the more I talk about it, the more I realize I hate this fucking... Okay, the music's not so bad, but I admit I do.
Oh no, soundtrack is great.
Yeah.
Sonic 1 soundtrack is fantastic. There's no denying that. But, and yeah. I will always defend that, but that is the typical defense for most Sonic games, though.
It's like, yeah, but a lot of Sonic... I mean, that's the thing, is that there aren't many... I think the only Sonic game I can think has a bad soundtrack is fucking Sonic Chronicles.
Yeah, oh my god, the soundtrack is bad.
You know, yeah, imagine being that... Imagine, like, thinking, let's make a Sonic RPG game, and the first entry to it is fucking shit. To be honest, Sonic wasn't the only one that suffered that fate on the DS either. Do you know that Spyro had an RPG game and it was fucking awful?
Really?
Yes. And it was basic, and it had a similar like art style and graphics to Super Mario RPG. And when I saw that, I was like, holy shit, is there like a Spyro game done in the style of Super Mario RPG, which would work. And I think one of my reasons I kind of like a lot of the original characters in Super Mario RPG is because they act like the Smithy gang, and like Croco, Mallow, and Geno look more like Spyro characters than they do Mario ones. Wow. They actually do. They definitely do. Like, you could put like Mallow and Geno as like an NPC on one of the levels and it would not look out of place at all. Because they have that kind of magical look to them, and the Smithy gang would definitely... You could put that in Rayman or Spyro and it would look not out... They would not look out of place at all. But anyway, I'm getting off track. Yeah, the Spyro like RPG game is just awful. It's just terrible. I would argue it is Sonic Chronicles levels of bad. And even there's no fucking soundtrack to that game.
None?
No, it's just pretty much ambience, and the RPG is not even turn-based. You just basically just spam, you just button mash and upgrade yourself. And it's just like, I'm sorry, you had, you know, Spyro RPG, an actual proper Spyro RPG game would work incredibly well, because you would be, even if it's turn-based, because you could have him, you could have like his like friends and stuff be like partners and everything, right. And it would work really well. But you didn't fucking do that. You just like, hey, let's just make an RPG where there's no turn-based, you just button mash and no soundtrack. At least Sonic Chronicles had like an actual soundtrack to some degree.
Yeah.
It was fucking awful, but at least it was something.
Damn,
and that's another reason Sonic Chronicles stands out, because it's like, it's a Sonic game that you can't even like defend it, because it's like not even use the soundtrack, because the soundtrack is garbage. But if you want to know what one of the worst soundtracks ever is in the game, have you ever listened to the music that's in Yoshi's New Island?
Oh my god! With the exception of the title theme itself,
yes,
that soundtrack fucking blows.
One of the fucking tracks in that game is not even in tune.
Like, I don't think there's another way I can describe that.
It's out of tune, and it legit sounds like Do you know what the instrumentation? Okay, do you know what actually the instrumentation sounds like? Do you remember like back in the day? Have you ever seen that like Dragon Ball Z parody by Oni NG called Dragon Ball PP?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Do you remember that weird like awful music that he had in the background that was deliberate because it was supposed to be humorous for the fucking cartoon?
Yeah,
The music in Yoshi's New Island sounds like that.
it kind of does.
It does,
Damn.
doesn't it?
Well, damn it. On that note, I think to cleanse my ears of those horrible memories, I should listen to the theme song itself. Only the title theme song. The song itself with the guitar is beautiful.
I know,
That is an amazing track.
but
Too bad the rest of the game couldn't match that.
then you get to everything else. You're like, oh, oh dear. Okay, I'm gonna for real though. I love Yoshi and everything as a character, and I love a lot of his games. But when can we get like a new Yoshi game that is on the level of like the original Yoshi's Island?
Apparently, Crafted World came really close.
Crafted World is good. It's it is actually a very good game, I will admit, and I do enjoy it. But I mean, I kind of want a Yoshi game that's done like Island again because that was so fucking good.
I mean, hell, you can play Yoshi's New Island. I mean,
True.
Yoshi's Island too. Whatever the fucking name of that game
Well, actually,
was.
to be fair, the DS one isn't too bad. The only thing I had to issue with, well, the only thing I didn't like about Yoshi's Island 2 was I kind of felt like a lot of the gimmicks in it, like the lot of the gimmicks felt very forced.
Yeah.
Like they purposely designed a level that, oh, you get introduced to Baby Wario here, so we're gonna give you a level with lots of fucking metal crates that he can move with his magnet.
Wait,
Which,
I just realized something.
yeah,
We was talking about two entirely different Yoshi games.
were we? I'm sorry.
You're talking about Yoshi's New Island. I'm talking about Yoshi's Island 2.
What was which one's Yoshi's Island 2? Is it the was that a second game? I don't
Hold on.
am I
Let me make sure I got my information right.
I don't because the only one I can think of was that Yoshi's Story was initially going to be called Yoshi's Island 2 or like Yoshi's Island 64 and they decided not to go with it. Um I do really like Yoshi's Story a lot though. It's a kind of interesting thing because if you want to play through it casually, it is piss easy. If you want to play through it properly and you want to unlock everything and go through the challenges, have fun doing the melon challenge because some of
Yeah,
those levels, oh
that
god, some of
sucks.
them are
I've heard.
fucking sadistic. Yeah, I'm a sadistic person that did that. Never again.
To right quick. Yeah, it actually is two different games. Yoshi's Island 2 was for the DS,
Yeah,
and
because yeah.
Yoshi's New Island was for the 3DS.
Yeah, because okay, Yoshi's Island 2 on the DS is not. It's actually alright. I mean, I like it. It's not as good as like the first game, and
It tried though. At least
what?
I'll at least give it that.
Yeah, no, it did. And the things I do like about Yoshi's Island 2, I do really like. Um,
I love the sprite work
it
in that
also.
game.
Oh no, the sprite work in that game is beautiful.
Absolutely
It was
gorgeous.
also really. It was also really cool when you completed the game when you found out that um the
Mario,
actual like Mario's like Yoshi is like you see his like that one at the end is the baby. I thought that's quite cool.
yeah, yeah. The baby that was born at the end of Yoshi Island 2 is the canonical Yoshi that we know now.
Yeah, he's the he's the one that's in like all the other games and like 64 DS
Right, because
and all that
Yoshi
stuff.
is a star child, Mario's a star child, Luigi's a
Mm.
star child. That's nutty.
Wario is,
Yeah, yeah, Wario is a
but not
star child.
Mario.
That's so weird.
Oh god, even he even got denied that. Poor guy.
Hmm.
But kind of weird knowing that like fucking Donkey Kong is, and well, actually, I guess with Wario, he's not. Wario isn't really evil. He just does his own thing. I
Yeah,
mean, he was introduced to being a villain, and he was the antagonist of
because of Mario Land 2.
Super Mario Land 2. Yeah, but
But yeah, wow, damn, that was
on that
nostalgic.
on that note, can we get a new Wario Land game?
That actually would be kind of nice. Wario
I know that.
needs a lot more love. Hell, they need to put Waluigi in an actual game with a story.
You know, why the fuck haven't they done that? It's
Like
like
that. That needs to happen.
it's like y- look, everyone loves him. Like like, and the Nintendo knows about like all of the what the Waluigi like memes and stuff as well. Apparently, they like know about that. So make it like, and not poor Waluigi didn't even get features in a WarioWare game. I'm like, for fuck's sake, just make him canon, please. If you can make um Dr. Baby Rosalina an actual canonical character and Pink Gold Peach, you can make fucking Waluigi. There is no excuse. So I'm just talking about how um I do find it quite funny though with the baby characters as well that apparently like Crash Bandicoot even like took the piss because in Crash Team Racing they actually introduced baby baby Crash
Oh.
Bandicoot and Coco, and they did that as a kind of like a bit of a joke,
Oh, okay. It was a
not
joke.
knowing that like one of them is actually one of the best characters in the game.
That's bull. That's broken. That's crazy.
Actually, it was because now they initially did the stats based on characters, but they've changed it. It's based on engine that you can choose, so the engine types. So you can like, and I think that's really cool. So you can play as like any character, and then not be like, oh, because that's one thing I didn't like about Mario Kart. Sometimes it's like I like this character, but they're fucking shit.
Yeah, that's fair. Um,
Um,
at this point, I'm gonna call it here. I
yeah,
damn,
as you can
we got a lot done though. Like a lot of ground covered, a lot of nostalgic stuff and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
which is pretty cool. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll try to stream in the like early afternoon on Saturdays, once a week. Because Michelle is actually about to start up a JoJo watch party.
I would join, but it's getting quite late for
Yeah,
me. So.
it's late, and that was one of the reasons why I wanted to do it earlier, at like
Mm,
1 o'clock in the afternoon, so I can give like everyone a chance to like to enjoy it together.
yeah.
But I tried it last week, and I literally sat there for like almost an hour, and no one came in.
I mean, I was.
No, you're fine. You would
Mm,
like you didn't say you was gonna be there and then not showed up. That's understandable.
mm,
But it's like so me and Michelle are trying to figure out ways to get the watch party thing going a little bit better.
mm.
But I digress. Thanks everyone for hanging out. This was fun. I haven't streamed like this in a while. Uh, maybe next time instead of running my mouth, I'll actually do an actual. Yeah, you know what? I think I am gonna do Sonic like this, a Sonic 3 Air like full playthrough with all my mods installed on it.
Just,
I,
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 I really am a masochist though, a gaming one.
so I'm the same. I'm the one that like I'm gonna 100% this game, even though I'm like this is actually like killing me mentally doing it. But fuck it, I'm gonna do it. Um,
In the
let's just
meanwhile,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Thank you everybody. Have a wonderful night, and let's do this again sometime.